play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes, get white out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how. Yo, welcome back to another episode of The Tip Off. I am your host, Iceman and Eskimo. Y'all know what I'm talking about on Sunday night. I know y'all watching football, but we're going live for a little bit. It's me and John for right now till the rest of the fellas pull up. If the rest of the fellas pull up, you know what I'm saying? I said football is on Monday night, you know what I'm saying? But the Nets started releasing players already. There's 2 to 3 right now that might be off the roster, so we might be down to 21, and they only got 2 days. 2 days. I think Nets Daily said they got to be down to 20 by training camp. So basically 2 days to release one more player. John, what you think about this right now, bro?
Whew, I wish we could be anybody else right now in the NBA. That's what I wish. I mean, good to be here, Ice. We're about a day away from Media Day because the Brooklyn Nets are going to China for a little Euro international play, so they're getting their started a little early. And like Ice just said, the roster should be down to 21 by preseason, and then by regular season, 15. So in actuality, they got to cut at least 7, 8 more spots. For right now, I think it's like you said, one more spot or two, and then they should be set. But yeah, there's still a lot more roster decisions to be made. I know we just talked a little bit about the Fambo thing. It turns out Fambo is not getting a two-way deal. He's getting an Exhibit 9 deal. It seems that him and Grant Nelson are going to duke it out for that last two-way, but we heard some conflicting reports. We heard a friend from his international team said that Fambo was a lock for the two-way, but it seems like Jordy and the organization probably wants to create a little competition between those two for the last spot. So that will be very interesting. And then you have other guys like Drew Timme, Tyrese Martin, and Wilson who are on the bubble right now as non-guaranteed contracts. And Tariq Whitehead, let's not count him out either. He actually has an option at the end of October. So he's another guy, too, whose contract is not guaranteed yet till that date. So, yeah, there are a lot more decisions this team has to make. And this roster, quite frankly, will be super different by the end of next year, just based on how open this team is with the contracts and whatnot. But, yeah, Ice, the Nets have a lot of work to do. And Tuesday is going to be very interesting to get to learn about the Flatbush Five, their goals for the year. But really the scoop of the whole thing is, will Cam Thomas get an interview? I think it's something everybody is anxious for, to see what he's going to say, because we have not heard anything from Cam Thomas since he signed that qualifying offer. So, yeah, Ice, it's going to be a very interesting, busy week as his team prepares for a tough upcoming season, a very tough upcoming season.
Oh, it is. It is. But Fambo, Grant Nelson, I don't think Grant Nelson has a chance, bro, if Fambo is trying out. I know he has an Exhibit 10. And Nets Daily said something that was funny. I checked on Google because I knew last month I seen Fambo sign a contract. And he said tomorrow Fambo's going to sign a contract. I'm like, he already signed the contract. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, like, I mean, like, what is going? Am I missing something, or are we missing something? You know what I mean? So it says right here, Fambo will be signed Monday, from what I hear, but Grant Nelson will be a future decision. So I was thinking Grant Nelson was going to end up in the G League anyways, but Fambo, if you check on Google, it says he signed the contract last month. You know what I mean? So Nets Daily said sign tomorrow unless it's not finalized, but you know what I'm saying? Just like the other contracts wasn't Dayron's and Zaire's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Unless
and this
it
is
wasn't finalized, then it'd be finalized tomorrow. That's crazy.
No, it definitely is. And this is the thing about trying to maintain flexibility. Yeah, and this is the thing about maintaining flexibility. Now, Sean Marks is being super cheap. Like we talked about, his strategy now, we thought it was going to be a final salary dump, which still could happen. But it seems right now he's signing players to like very short contracts and then waiving them right after the G League just to meet the minimum floor. So there's definitely maybe another guy or two he might try to sign and just send to the G League. So there definitely is a little strategy there. But is it the smart strategy? Because we heard about Drummond, Kelly Oubre. Some teams might be trying to get off of another player or two, and the Nets can maybe get one more salary dump done. But it seems like that's not happening because Sean Marks wants to maintain the extra $15 million in cap space the Nets have for next year's trade deadline, which is very interesting because I think the Nets will be busy at next year's trade deadline. And to have that extra $15 million cap space will definitely be super advantageous for the Nets for collecting more assets. But at the same time, it means a lot of people on this roster currently, their roster spots are not guaranteed. So it's definitely going to be a lot of competition. And like you just said about the Fambo thing, like we thought it was set in stone, but this is the way Sean Marks and this organization are operating in the shadows. Like one minute we think there's something concrete. Next thing you know, hey, this guy's now added to the team. It seems like they're trying to maintain flexibility by trying to pinch every little penny they can together right now to maintain that cap space flexibility. It's a little irritating because we want clarity on what exactly this roster is going to look like, but it seems this organization wants to use every little cap space to their benefit right now. And I know it's a little agonizing, but at the end of the day, the hope is that at the end of next year, the Nets will be lined up to draft a really good prospect to join this young core they're trying to build. And having the cap space flexibility is very advantageous. It's just you have to get the right pieces eventually around this team if you ever hope to be something serious. But I definitely understand why they're doing it. It's just we thought Fambo was going to get the two-way. Now they're saying, oh, he's going to get signed tomorrow. It's just why are they trying to confuse us like this? There's no need for it at this point.
Right. I don't know either. That's weird to me. That's weird. Like that news was already out. But Nets Daily say, fun fact, while the Nets have to be down to 21 players by the start of training camp this week, but those 21 do not have to be broken down into 18 standard deals and 3 two-ways. Just 21 total. Nets currently have 20 players in training camp. 21 just total. Nets currently have 20 players in training camp. So I guess they plan to cut somebody tomorrow or Tuesday. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like you said, that about Derek. Derek is interesting because I don't know if you've seen the poll. Somebody put up a poll about who they think will have last in the NBA. Derek Whitehead or Kobe Buffkin. And like I think it was like 71% said Kobe Buffkin. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I forget who had it. I'm not sure if I shared it on my page. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I shared it. But I forgot who it was earlier today. But fans think Kobe Buffkin will stay longer. Bryce said Wilson and Timmy and Martin will be left. Let's see. Wilson, Timmy, and Martin will be left. For training camp, Bry? That's what you think for training camp? Or in training camp or to make the roster? What you mean?
That's very interesting. That's very interesting because Jalen Wilson put out a post, I think, a day or two. Nets Kingdom said where like Wilson said, "Oh, I'm trusting, that there's a way through this," something like that. It's like a little cryptic text where people going, "Okay, Wilson's definitely on the bubble," but then there was a post that Jalen Wilson's going to be there for training camp, so it's like he's definitely on the bubble right now. So is Tyrese Martin, Drew Timme as well. Those are the 3 main guys who, like you said, one of them could be cut tomorrow just to make the minimum roster, and I wish each and every one of them the best of luck if it is them. But like you said, Ice, we're in a roster crunch right now, and I think each and one of these guys has a case to make for getting minutes on this team. But really, for us, we got to weed out who is potential long-term fit and who's not. Now, the Kobe Buffkin thing was so interesting because some NBA insiders are saying the Nets hit a home run with Kobe Buffkin, that there's so much untapped potential. Hey, I check my articles and my sources. But yeah, listen, I think Kobe Buffkin, like you said, he does give you some good potential on the defensive end. He's like around 6'2", 6'3", but he's definitely a scrapper on the defensive end. It's just health. And we know with Sean Marks, he likes taking all these gambles on injury-prone players and rehabbing them. The interesting thing is both Derek and Kobe Buffkin are kind of on that same wavelength. They both missed the last 2 years pretty much, played minimal games, and now, like, for them, it's a main competition between Buffkin and Derek Whitehead to get a rotation spot on that bench. I think Kobe's definitely has a lot to prove, but Whitehead has the most to prove because his option isn't guaranteed until I think October 31st. So he has time from now this week of training camp all the way to the end of October, where the Nets, I think, play 3 or 4 games just to try to validate a role. And if he doesn't, Kobe Buffkin, I think, will have the inside track of taking his spot. So that's another competition that we could see unfold. Like, I think this is kind of why they overloaded the roster, is they're going to have some of these guys play in these preseason games, which to us are meaningless. But for them, it's fighting for their lives pretty much. Like Jay said on Breezy's show, the BK Hunger Games squad. Like, some of these guys are fighting for roles. And unfortunately, if you don't make the cut, you have to come off this team. But I think that's also a good thing as well because we're giving each of these guys a chance to fight for a role. And that's what this year is about, fighting to become the next Brooklyn Net. It should not be handed out. It should not be handed to you. Like, you got to fight for it every given day. And I think that's going to be great for these young guys we drafted. Like, you have to establish why you're here in Brooklyn. What are you going to bring? Your skill set, your leadership, everything is going to matter. And especially for these guys that are on the bubble right now. So I welcome the competition. It's just the organization has to make these decisions soon, because we do not have all the time in the world to wait for these decisions to be made.
Yeah, facts. Easy. I got you on the panel,
Hey.
bro. Yo.
Yo. I'm hot. My mic good. I'm good.
Yeah, what's the word? He's
Yeah, you
Yo, what's
good,
the
you
word,
good,
yo?
you good, you good.
Yo, I'm outside
Yo,
right now, so if you
talking
hear any
about the
feedback, I'm
roster, they already started letting people go. You know what I'm saying? They let Tucson go back here on the poster. They let Keon go. They let Yuri go. Right, he just got signed, but he got cut. But I suspect he's going to the G League. You know what I'm saying? Because they traded for his rights, or they traded for him from the G League. So I think he's going to go back on the G League. They just put him on a roster to make the salary work, to meet the salary floor. So a lot of these guys are getting cut. It was said that Ricky Council by Nets Daily was saying that he might not even make the team, or he might not even try out for the Nets. So another guy right there that may be cut from the roster just for salary, and he may end up on the G League team as well. So you know what I'm saying? Like him, Ricky, and Yori might end up back on the G. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about them cutting players? They said we got 20 we have 21 players, and I think they got to be down to 20 by training camp, which is Wednesday or Thursday. I forget.
look, yo, my fault. I'm outside right now. I got
You
background
there?
noise.
You there, Easy?
Oh, now, yeah, I'm here. I'm here, bro. You can hear me. You can hear me.
It's
My
all
mic
right.
straight.
yeah,
Good.
you're good, you're good.
Oh, yeah. It might be ice. It might be ice, man.
Yo,
But
you got lower, but yeah, I can hear you.
I bet. Um, I'm not too far. I mean, I wasn't taking the players that we signed in the, like, I guess you could say, like, the end of the summer league or whatever. I didn't really take that too serious. I knew some of them wasn't gonna make the team, two-way contracts, prospects, things of that nature. I didn't take that too serious. The thing I really want to focus on is what I think either you or John just brought up with the poll about the Reek Whitehead or Kobe Buffkin. Damn, yo, Kobe ain't even show too
Yeah,
much, and he
yeah.
already got that much value
All
over here.
right.
So listen, man, I'll say this: the only reason, in my mind, I think the Reek didn't get cut is because we used first round capital on you. So we have to see something come back from that.
Right,
But if we didn't use that, if it was a
right.
second round capital on you, you'd be cut, bro. So I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're expecting something from Derek, don't expect it. That's gonna be another Keon Johnson. I ain't gonna lie to you. Unfortunately, he gonna look good on our team
Oh,
Ooh.
prospect spots, but he's not gonna. I'm telling you right now, he the start of next season, not this season coming up, but next season, he's not gonna be here, and you're gonna be lucky if you see him in the NBA anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. The Reek ain't it. Like, you can't come into the league hurt and then you barely show stuff. Yeah, no, it's not. If the conversation is Kobe Buffkin, and look, Kobe Buffkin, his value is very low. We did Atlanta a sort of favor, meanwhile helping us at the same time because we need to fill our salary. But at the same time, they decided to let go of their asset just for cash. They didn't even attach nothing to it, bro. So Kobe Buffkin value is
right.
very low, very low. Now in terms of talking about how the player plays on the court, different type of conversation. But we have like 8 guards, so that we have like at least four of them in the rotation already. So it's gonna be so now at that point you're shoehorn Kobe Buffkin into the equation. What I'm saying is Kobe Buffkin value is so low, and the Reek is lower than that. My
No, that's a
God.
fair evaluation. That's a very fair
So
evaluation.
if anybody looking for the Reek to do something, I don't care what he do. He could do what Malachi Flynn did on the Raptors. Dropping 50 and 40 and then turn to a rotation and all that. No, it's over from
Yeah,
right here. It's over from right here now. If anything, start looking for the overseas. Looking what team could want to pick you up for overseas. And that's no disrespect to him. He could be a great player, but it's not going to be. if you're at the bottom of the basement and you're struggling to get time and your value not too above this guy, then yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So that's what I really want to say about the Reek Whitehead. I hear a lot of people talk about the Reek. I don't see it no. I struggle to see it, and then now with
All
that
right.
confirmation, yeah, no. Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. But yeah, that's tough. I don't know if you heard me on the last stream, but they were saying that the Pacers wanted Kobe Buffkin because Halliburton was out, and we actually beat them. They had the heads up first, but we actually got the Kobe Buffkin before they did, and they actually wanted him. You know what I'm saying? They actually wanted to get him on the team. Thought John said that like he's a good pickup. I slept not slept on, but slept on pickup. You know what I'm saying? Like he's actually they think he can be a quality guy for the Nets. You know what I'm saying? Like he can actually put up points. He can actually score for us, be a scorer for us. That's what the articles and stuff was saying about Kobe Buffkin. You know what I'm saying? And the last little video I did, it said that they think that him and Yegor will be battling it out, but they think he will probably be behind Yegor. I think he'll probably be in front because I think he's better. Leaf on the panel, what you talking about, bro?
Yo, real quick. My fault, Leaf. That's
What's good?
insanity, bro. That is insanity, bro. That is
You know,
insanity, bro. Why are you making a guy that
you
you
there,
just
Leaf?
brought in for cash?
Yeah, yeah, yo.
Why?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Now you straight, Leaf. My
Yeah,
Yo,
fault.
yeah.
But yo,
Nah, nah, nah.
first
Uh,
round pick over
somebody,
cash, my nigga. Are we serious
you
right
know what
now,
I'm
bro?
saying?
Bro.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I really don't understand in the strategy, but going back to a video that I saw, and I'm probably shared with I don't think I shared with all of y'all, but I did share with
Back to
some.
a video that I
Um,
saw, and I'm probably
damn, it's
Hey, so
echoing.
put the other one on mute.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
You're good. You're good now. You're good now.
Yeah. I strongly believe that I think we at least trying to go for that. That's what it seemed like. I don't know. I don't understand the whole getting Kobe Buffkin after you just got your first ever top 10 pick in Brooklyn Nets history. I just don't understand it.
That was a favor for
Especially
Atlanta, Leaf. That was a favor for Atlanta.
yeah. But I mean, and you gave up cash to get him, and you like I don't know, man. Like I said, man, they just it seemed like they just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what's excuse me,
Bless
seeing
you.
what's but appreciate it, seeing what's gonna stick, and they gonna go from there, bro. Like I mean, if the process really has begun, then it has begun. In terms of like a number one option, I think a number one option is probably gonna be who fits with the team and who complements the team and how many players complement that player. I mean, because let's be honest, man. Like I don't think the number one options that's in the league right now, you got to ask yourself, can they be number one options anywhere they go? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, a lot of them they appear to be, but it took a lot to build around them, and it took a lot to turn them into the players that they are today, bro. Like, I don't. I think we're going about it somewhat a way, but there's no real said method. The only said method to this, in my personal opinion, I think is just try to go from 1 through 9. You have to have complementary players, and you have to have players that's willing to go deep in the playoffs with, because that's what we just saw. Not just last year from Boston, not all of those years from the Warriors, but if you look at these last two teams that was in the finals, we saw that from them too, because they were very deep teams. And uh, John,
That's
you
every
had
team in the playoff, though. Leaf. That's
Wait,
every
what,
team in the
Leaf?
playoff.
John, you had said something about how the Cam Johnson trade would have been important for OKC. Apparently, that's not
Right.
the case. You know what I'm saying? So because they like without the quote unquote elite shooting, they managed to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think you just got to stick to what you're doing. I think the whole point about this is just to stick to what you're doing, stick to your game plan, and the winning stuff. Hopefully, it'll work. But you can at least say you at least got there. That's the one thing about the Indiana Pacers that they could say, bro. They were literally an injury away and a game 7 away from winning it all. And that's what it really came down to, man. I think if you are Indiana, I don't think you have nothing to be ashamed of, man. You was right there, and an injury just cost it all. OKC overall was the better team, and they won. I mean, and they were the healthier team. But I think overall, that's what it comes down to. Nobody's getting championships through the mud anymore. They getting
Uh,
championships through luck.
what?
That's how you win. But like how you build a team, you build a team. That's the first part of the journey. Winning, you got to have some luck into it because that's what OKC had.
No, you're right about that, Leaf. And the thing is, this overloading of guards is interesting because it tells me that like they're very focused on trying to find that point guard, scoring guard combo that can stick. I don't think they're as focused on the wings or the centers. I think it's more of next year's draft because that's where it really is loaded. Besides Peterson at the top, so I can understand why we're doing this whole experimentation with the guards. The Kobe Buffkin thing is super interesting because it made me go, then why we waste a pick on Ben Seraph? Because it's like you got Buffkin now, you got all these different guards. It's almost like you're overcompensating on that sector. But it's trying to create good battles to see who rises above. I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, you also try to want to figure out who fits this roster's future and what you're trying to build. I think Kobe Buffkin has a shot, but I also think part of why they're doing this is the previous draft class of Clowney, Dariq Whitehead, and Jalen Wilson has been underwhelming. As much as some people want to praise Sean Marks for how he drafts people, it's like, well, two out of three of those guys look out the team. Even Clowney, his future's not set in stone, but it feels like he has the most to gain from that draft class. So it's almost kind of like this draft class right now. The development has to be great. Like you can't just have guys that are on this team for 2-3 years slugging away, giving you mediocre numbers. Then we got a star prospect. Let's just throw these guys to the side. No, you drafted these guys. It's your job to make sure that they function on this team and what they're supposed to do. But that's the thing about drafting 5 playmakers. It's like you're not having diversity with your roster balance. It's almost like you're trying to overcompensate on that part of things. And that's why we were scratching our heads going, why did you pass on this 3-and-D guy? Why'd you pass on this big? So, like, I think these guys can work in Jordy's system, playing fast tempo, passing out to each other, hitting threes, stuff like that, causing turnovers. Like, I totally understand all that. But having all these different pieces, especially in the guard, it makes things messy. I think Jordy really has his work cut out for him this year. Like, there's a lot he has to balance this year with the veteran play, with how he's going to play these 5 young guys. Like, there's so much he's going to have to work with and mess with, and hopefully it positions us well to draft that star guy next year. Because right now we have a bunch of dudes on this team just trying to play for roster time.
Wait, hold on, real quick, John. Let me
Yes,
say
he's.
this. To be fair, there's a chance they picked up a lot of guards just in case in this season coming up. Because remember what happened last season? There was a demand for guards around the league, and we did have Dennis Schroeder on the team. We did make a deal for that. Now
Mm-hmm.
you could feel how you feel about the deal, but we did make a deal for that. So in the next season, there might be a demand for guards. We do still have Terrence Mann on our team, Kobe Buffkin, things of that nature. So we still have players on the table and options and salary cap space to make some things work for some swaps and some trades for some other teams. So I would think or speculate with conjecture that in the next season, in the season coming up, that there could be some availability for some guards that we could fill in that spot for, and we could still be in the talk for conversation for making a trade. I agree with you. It kind of looks messy from our team. I would think it's messy on the point that we are making the rookies compete, which is still a good thing. It's not like we're just
Mm-hmm.
going to give them an opportunity to say, okay, here you go, you just got it. We're going to make sure you compete and try to, earn your spot, or at least show make your time rise to the occasion. But at the same time, I don't think it's too messy. I don't think that's too much on Jordy plate because even before Kobe, And even before we even picked up the two-way guys, like we already like off the draft, we had like a five guard rotation right there off the draft. So if 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 what I'm hearing from y'all is correct, Jordy had a hand in that draft. So he came into the season before the season started. He already had this in his mind. If anything, he probably this is like one of his plans or one of the propositions he gave to the team. It's like okay, if we got like I'm good with guards, we could run a guard lineup, things of that nature. But real quick, I want to just get right back to one of Lee's points because he said the two teams that was in the finals last season, they're very deep in depth, very deep in their depth. In my opinion, because because me and Leaf was talking about this already. You talking about 8, 9 quality guys that you could go down into your bench. So like 4 guys into your bench, you could go down quality guys. They could serve a role. They could serve a purpose. All the real contending teams have that. So at a point, I kind of agree it's luck, but at the same time, like everybody has the same depth. It's just the particulars in their depth. One guy is a great rebounder, Steven Adams. The other guy is a great spark off the bench, Benedict Mathurin. Another guy is a very good defender. He could cover up your holes, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Another guy is a good bench player. He could put up buckets off the bench, Nas Reed. All the contending teams had depth. It's just how the matchup really went. But they did have depth. So, and then another point to that, I don't. So for the most part, don't try to take this team as a contending team. When we're contending, there's going to be a lot of shakeups. So don't look at every player on the team like this is a contending team. No, 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 no. Even though we got a big guard lineup, there's going to be a lot of shakeups to that lineup. So don't think like, yeah, we're gonna start contending. We're gonna have like seven guards in our rotation for the lineup. No, 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 no. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be having
Uh,
that.
nah. I don't think we're gonna do that easy. But I will say, I think in terms of the skill set of the players that we went after this offseason and in the draft, I think there's a formula that the Nets office is going after. I just
Man, you
know
buffering.
they have
Is it me or
Yo,
is
formula
it
that's me or
is
you?
Lee?
That's me or
players
Leaf.
that they
Oh shit.
just don't think.
Yo, Leaf, you Megatron right now, bro. You Megatron. You
Yeah,
can't talk.
you on computer love right now, bro.
Yeah. Oh shit.
While Leaf is fixing his technical
Yeah,
difficulties, I just want
you
to
on
say
computer
to
love, bro.
You're funny, guys. I just want to say to ease the point you brought up about having all these guards is maybe Sean Marks wants to operate at the trade deadline and trade some of these guys for extra assets. That could be true too. Like it's just I'm trying to establish perspective there. From some perspectives, it's messy, but from your perspective, there, it's a business type thing. Because I also said this to Ice at the beginning of the show. The Nets, when they get above this minimum salary, they have $15 million extra in cap space that they can use at next year's trade deadline to get a big contract or two using extra cap space. And if they have these extra guards to throw in that trade as well, it's getting more assets back. It's definitely advantageous. If that's the reason why they overload on guards, that's probably the only reason this could make sense. But at the same time as well, you got to hope that who you do cut from this group is allows you to find the right player for that. Because I really do think none of these spots are set in stone because we all know that, but it's definitely going to create good competition. It's just you also want to make the right move at the deadline and not trade the wrong piece at the same time. That's why I was talking about it being potentially messy. But I think you made a good point there. Like we really do have to use this upcoming trade deadline to our best advantage to collect more assets because we do have the cap space working for us. We do have movable pieces. I know Haywood Highsmith. They were Brian Lewis reported he's going to be traded at the deadline. Claxton, that stuff is still up in the air. Anthony Simons is available. So the Nets, I think, will be active at next year's deadline because we do have vets that we can move off this team for extra assets. And we also have extra depth in the guard area to move off some pieces if somebody needs it. Because injuries, like you said, East, they come up. And especially in the East, I mean, I know we all heard about the Tyler Hero situation a day ago. That just made the East even weaker than it already is. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be a team or two that are going to be calling potentially the Nets about certain pieces that they might be missing due to injury. So I think the Nets are in a good position with having extra roster guys, but hopefully you will move them for those assets. You're not just keeping them around to keep them around because we do want to find out who the next Brooklyn Net is. And that could be a
Real,
little troublesome if you have too
So
many guys on the roster
so
at the
so
same time.
so so
real quick
John,
to the comments.
so
Real quick to the
John, you
comments.
saying there
I
is a
am reaching.
method to
I
this?
am reaching.
Leaf, I do not want to try to understand Sean Marks and Joe Desai's method. For 10 years, I tried to understand it, and they cannot be forthcoming with their messaging on where the hell we're going. But to what Easy said, it kind of does make sense. If you're going to move off some of these guys in next year's deadline, it could make sense because there are a lot of teams dealing with injuries right now. And if certain other teams do get injured even more, they're going to be calling the Brooklyn Nets number saying, hey, is this guy available for this certain amount of price? And I think the Nets will come call in and make those deals. That to me is
You
the only
know
thing that
what?
makes sense.
That's not a
Real quick,
that's
and we
not a bad
diminish the
theory,
assets.
but
God,
Real quick, Lee, and we diminished some of the assets value already once we made that trade to make them come to the team. So Hayward Highsmith demanding value is not the same from him coming from Miami to Brooklyn now. From now Brooklyn going to a different team now. We in business we kind of diminished the value of this asset so we could use it either for a trade chip or to sell it off right, but we diminish it to make it more attractive for other teams to come and buy it now. So he might go for lower than what we traded for, but depends on how we do the deal. We have more deals on the table and we have more options and flexibility with the deals. But go ahead, Leaf. My fault.
right. No, I totally agree with you, Easy. And the great thing about Haywood is I think a lot of contending teams will come calling because his defensive value is really good. Like he's such a pesky good defender. And if he could come back around November-ish into December and show what he can do, the Nets could definitely get a few extra seconds from a team that really would want him. But also to like what Leaf said, like do I understand where Sean and Joe are going with this? Heck no. But I think what does make sense right now is that we can position ourselves for a top franchise guy next year if we play our cards as smartly as we can this season because we do have certain pieces that could be rotation guys, but you're missing that franchise connector. If you can get that guy in next year's draft, then after that, the Nets organization should be making winning moves at that point to start making this team way more competitive and start building those winning habits because we don't have control of our own pick in 2027. So when you do wind down this roster after this season, hopefully the Flatbush Five, each and every one of them can show us something. And if you get that franchise guy, then we're cooking with grease and oil, and we can actually start building a functioning team on this roster. And we have a good coaching staff, I think, but we definitely have to create a more balanced team in the next 2 or 3 years if we ever hope to be a serious team whatsoever. So I really think next year's draft will be huge in where this team goes the next 3 to 4 years because you need that franchise guy if you hope to build anything sustainable on this team.
Yo, we got Notorious on the panel.
Notorious.
Yo, they letting go players right now. They got one more to let go before the start of training camp and media day. They let go of Keon so far, Tucson, Yuri. I think Yuri's gonna be in the G League. I got him behind us on the poster back there. And it was stated that Ricky Council, he may not even try out for the team. He might just get cut. He might be the guy get cut tomorrow. And it was said that Fambo and Grant Nelson, Fambo's on the exhibit 10. Grant Nelson got the training camp invite, and they're gonna battle out probably for the two-way. Now they signed a lot of these guys just for salary to meet the salary floor, and they letting them go. So by the start of training camp, I think they have to have 20 players left. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
20
mean?
is the max.
Yeah, I think
I
20.
read 20 is the max you can invite to training camp.
It's 21. It's 21. It's
That's
21.
21.
Yeah, I believe it's 21.
Yeah. So what you think? What you think about that? Because uh yeah, Ricky might be the one out. He didn't even get a chance, and then you know what I'm saying. You still got to cut down from, you know what I'm saying, Tyrese, Keon, Jalen, and stuff like that. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, so that means, like you said, it's like one more two-way to be filled because I think they gave one to the center that they just got, the
Yeah,
young center, the
yeah, I
African.
forget what his name is, but yeah.
Yeah, he got like I don't know if he's African, but it sounds like it starts with an M. And Etienne got the other one, right?
Yes, Etienne got the other one.
Yeah, so that means they got one more 2-way to fill. Um, And yeah, it seems like there's going to be like a couple of more guys that's going to be cut. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we talked about this. I mean, I expect it. I think it's going to be personally. I think it's going to be Jalen Wilson and Drew Timmy. I think they're going to be the oddballs out when it's all said and done. Um, yeah, man, it's a lot of young pieces. Like you said, the Nets signed a lot of these guys just so they can hit the salary cap for real. They not really invested in some of them. Some of them they are. Some of them are just to fill out the salary. You know what I mean? The salary cap so they can
Right.
reach the ceiling. But I mean, I'm cool with it, man. We got a lot of young guys. There's a lot of question marks, man. So I mean, nobody on this roster is really like proven like that. I mean, we got a couple vets. I'm talking about outside of the young guys that we got. So I mean, it's a lot of uncertainty. You know, they searching, and you know what I mean. That's what happens when you rebuilding, bro. It's a lot of moving pieces in and out until you find pieces that you could work with and build with going forward.
Right.
Yeah. So did you hear about there was a poll. There's two things that we beat the Pacers out for getting Kobe Buffkin, and they really wanted him on the team. And me and John seen another thing that said they think basically Kobe Buffkin is a basically a steal for the Nets. You know what I mean? And the poll today said they think between Kobe and Derek Whitehead, that Kobe Buffkin will probably have a longer NBA career than Derek Whitehead. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that before we move on?
Oh no, I mean I think so as far as because I think Buffkin is more athletic, man. Like he's more um, up and down. He's more of an athlete. I mean, it's still hard to tell, man. I don't know. Like for real, both of these guys in the same position, bro. They young college players got into the league. Either came into the league hurt or came into the league and got
Derek
hurt
been
early.
routinely hurt though, Joey. Derek
You
been
said what?
routinely hurt though. Like Kobe hasn't been hurt on the same level as Derek. So like,
No,
They're
but
both
what
kind of
I'm saying,
similar, Eves. Both kind of similar.
where I'm going with this
Derek been
is,
hurt for a whole season.
yeah, I'm not trying to compare injuries, but what I'm going with where I'm going with this is they're young players who've just been riddled with injuries and they never really got a chance to really prove themselves in the league. Whether that be whether they got hurt in college or whether they got hurt in the league, you know what I mean? They were top prospects in college, and you know what I mean. They never, they've been injury riddled, so we never really seen them really, you know, hit their peak.
Joey,
So
jo, jo,
oh
Joey, I hear you, but like for our situation and Atlanta situation was kind of different because Kobe he was he was bumped down in the rotation because you have people like DeJounte Murray, Trey Young, and I forgot another guard, not Nikhil, there's another small yeah, Bogdanovich at the time, Lil Bogey and shit like that. You had people in front of him at the time in his rotation, so it was hard for him to show. He had limited minutes to showcase what he had to do in certain type of roles. Meanwhile, with Derek, you didn't have like star players or players that they paid big money to right in front of you. You should have outright beat them.
yeah,
Now
but
injuries,
easy.
yes,
It's
but you
easy.
didn't.
I hear what you saying, but it's easy for us to say that, bro. If the man body ain't ready and he not ready to play, he not ready. No matter how me and you look at it and saying, well, yeah, he should be ready to go right now, or he's playing on a weak team, so he should be beating these dudes out. None of that shit matters if you're not healthy, bro.
Now,
No,
that's a fact. That's why I'm saying the Reek value is lower than Kobe. Now Kobe, he just got left go for cash. That's kind of crazy to me. Like I'm still stuck in the cash shit. But if he's getting let go for cash, right? And they, I think Kobe is better than Derek. He got a lot more potential in athleticism. But if he's getting let go for cash and he's a steal and he's still a good player, and they're saying Derek is lower than that, what?
You
Like,
know what you know what it is. I feel like they're trying to take the Zaire Williams gamble again. Let's just remember, Kobe Buffkin was drafted 15. Zaire was 10. I feel like they're trying to do another reclamation project where maybe Buffkin fits Jordy's system, gives him some defensive energy, some playmaking skills, some scoring stuff like that. Because we do agree that Kobe can create his own shot. It's just health is the biggest thing. But I agree with what you said. I think both their values are really in the tanker right now. But really, for Derek Whitehead, like This is looking like an absolute failure for Sean Marks. And if he has to waive him, then he has to own that, because this was a guy who could have been a lottery pick a few years ago, but he's had multiple injuries. He's had multiple surgeries already. And Buffkin's had a surgery, I think, last year to put him on the shelf. But really, it is a battle between the two to see who will stand out. And really, they just got to be healthy. If you can be healthy and play to your skill set, then you have a potential future on this team. But I think it's good to set the bar low, because both of them are low right now, but they both have to rise above that to
Right.
meet a standard for this team.
Well, I do think Buffkin has a little bit more value because, like I said, he is athletic and he could do
Mm-hmm.
other things. He can defend. Like, he could do other things outside. Like, if he's not scoring the ball, you can get some type of value. Derek is like, if he's not shooting well, you're not really getting no value out of him. And and to be honest, I really, really only seen him shoot decent a handful of times since he's been with us. And decent.
He's,
I haven't seen him shoot like lights out since he's been with us. So
he's become a
um
3-point shooter. He really transitioned away from being an interior threat to just a 3-point guy. I think he had one or
yeah,
two interior buckets, and the biggest thing is his speed. His speed has been really bad. It was a nightmare to watch him a year and a half ago. Just move on the court, because he looked totally uncomfortable. Whereas with Buffkin, he can give you a little speed there. I think for Whitehead, he has to show this training camp the speed is back somewhat, because if it is and he's just shooting threes, it's like that skill set is kind of not what we're looking for as a long-term fit. Whereas
yeah,
that's
his
where Kobe
athleticism don't
could
look like it's
potentially,
there.
yeah,
His
bump him there.
athleticism, it doesn't look like it's there. But I get it. I mean, the dude, shit, he's coming back off injury, and sometimes, I mean, everybody don't bounce back the same, you know.
Right.
So
I
I
wish them
mean,
both the best this season, but they both clearly are fighting with each other for one of those bench spots, and may the best man win. I just think for Sean Marks, he's going to have to admit that I screwed up on the Whitehead one if Buffkin is the one that defeats him for that spot, because there
yeah,
was a lot of hype with Whitehead, and the last 2 years we've seen nothing really,
yeah, because
unfortunately.
Derek Whitehead was slated to be like a lottery pick until he got
Mhm.
hurt in college. So that's why he dropped. But I
Yeah,
guess, Sean, he took a gamble. He figured like he was going to get, you know what I mean? And right now, that gamble was looking like a fail right now, to be honest with
Another fail,
To,
and this
to
too.
be fair, I think coming out of college, Derek was showing some good um signs that he'll be a good NBA player. So coming out of college, I mean, and this is what I'm saying. Even though people could be like LeBron James is the most surefire draft prospect. Like, yo, you draft him, you know you're doing good. But everybody now LeBron James, you know what I'm saying? So you can't just, even though you drafted a prospect in number 4, number 5, you don't know if he gonna pan out. Even if he pan out, he's not gonna pan out all the way to your expectations. So
you. True.
even you pick a play high. I think people are putting high expectation on players when right now in this league there's a lot of great talent. I think we getting too me personally, I think we getting too drunk off the talent. Like there's a lot of great shit happening all around us to the point where we just up at our bar of what we expect players to do, especially young players. Because you'll see a nigga like Wemby or Ant Man come to the league and they immediately kill it. And then you'll be like, okay, so I'm expecting the next young guy, the minute he come in, he needs to hit the ground running. But they don't remember how Jimmy Butler had to make his way, Kawhi Leonard had to make his way in the league and build himself up into a good player, and now that's one of your household names. So it's like
Yeah.
development,
But to be
development.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. That's what anybody though, especially if you're a late first round pick or a second round pick, that's usually how it goes. But the thing is, we haven't really been able to really see a good sample size of Derek and what he could do because he hasn't been healthy. You know what I mean? And it's like his most of his time being with the Nets he's either been hurt or been in the G League. So
Right.
he's played with us a handful of times, and I'm gonna tell you what, time is not on his side. Like the clock is ticking. The NBA is,
Exactly.
you know, waits for no man. So it's like next man up. Like they consistently, um, you know, trying to, trying to get guys in and out of there. If you don't work out, they already got no looking at the next guy they trying to get in the next couple of years. So um Derek, I think this is a do or die year for him. Like he really, not even just to stay with the Nets and just to stick in the league. Like he
Right.
has to play above average this year, or else he might be out of the league. Real
I
shit.
I totally agree with you, and it's like it's unfortunate that the previous draft class of Wilson, Clowney, and Whitehead, there was potential there with each and every one of them, but it seems like now after drafting 5 rookies, they've just become backwards characters, and I think we all agree that Noah Clowney is a potential surprise this year if he can maintain health and show all of his skill set, and not just shoot threes and do a little defense. Like he has to show it all too this season. But for Whitehead and Wilson, especially for Whitehead health, huge issue. For Wilson last year, it was lack of seasoning opportunities. Wilson had a multitude of opportunities last year to start having some really big games, and he just kind of just crapped out most of the season. Like he gave you some
Exactly.
threes, he gave you some interior rebounding, but his playmaking was still ass. And I'm surprised Jordy didn't tell him, like, Wilson, you gotta get better as a playmaker. Like I appreciate you giving me some 3-point shots and other stuff, but you gotta show me create your own shot, do more
He
on
even
the court.
regressed in
And
that
he just
though,
didn't.
man. His shooting.
Yeah. He just got really bland towards the
He
middle after the
regressed.
season.
He regressed this season. The season before this one, he was decent. We was like, oh, Wilson's all right.
Right,
We might
right.
have something with him. But
Exactly.
last season, he regressed. It was like, bro, what happened to you? Like,
Yeah.
Be fair
especially
to
when
the
he
coaching
balled out
staff.
in summer
Be fair to
league.
new coaching
The
staff.
season he had the year before this one, we like, okay. And then we seen him ball out in summer league. We like, oh shit, yeah, Wilson should be very, very entertaining and good this year. And that wasn't the case. It looked like he regressed.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
man,
did
we
put
gotta
it
put
on.
summer league down, bro. Denzel Valentine won the MVP for the summer league. He couldn't even get no
I know
minutes on the
I
Bulls,
see I
bro.
hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is he showed flashes of goodness, you know what I mean? Like he showed promise.
No,
I'm
no,
not saying like, yo, I expected him to be like an all-star because he did well in summer league. I thought he was building his self up. You feel me? Because
no,
I'm
no,
like, yo, the year before he had a little decent year. You know what I
no,
mean?
Joe.
And then in summer league, I'm like, okay, he balling. So I expected him to, you know what I mean, continue that upward trajectory. And that wasn't the
Facts.
case. That's
No,
all.
no, no, I agree. I agree. Yo, there was previous streams. I've been like, yo, what happened to Jalen Wilson? Like, I'm expecting him to, like, I thought he's a good rotation player, but my the league, the summer league, I don't want to take all that into. But to be fair to Jalen Wilson, it's a new coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? So like, Jordy might have a different plan for him, a different role for him, things of that nature. I like to give players a little time to. I, I learned to adjust my thinking. You got to give players a little time to adjust to a different offense and defense and coaching staff because certain roles might be different for certain players, things of that nature. Like Dennis Schroeder, when he got traded from us to Golden State, you'd have thought he fucking trash. You like, yo, he can't play. But I'm like, yo, it's a whole different. Yo, Golden State is a whole different offense, and if you come in there as a guard, this is a whole different thing that they're requiring you to do. Especially if you're on the court at the same time as Steph. But then you take him off there, you put him with a team like Detroit, they doing good. At that point, he parlayed that into a contract with Sacramento, and I think he's gonna do good on Sacramento. So you gotta give players some time
Not it's
when they
just
go to
that
a different coaching.
Schroeder just needs to go to a place where he can spread his wings, where they're gonna let him play and let him do him. He's not that good when he's restricted. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's why I don't think he did that good in Golden State because I kind of think he was pigeonholed a little bit. But when he played with us, he got to play freely. When he played with Detroit, Detroit was like, "Yo, yeah, hell yeah," you know what I mean? Come off the bench, go out there and do your thing. You know what I mean? Like they certain organizations, um, you know, depending on where they're at, they look for you to come in and spread your wings a little bit. Other organizations, they like, look, this is the role we want you to play. We don't want you going outside of that role. Period.
And now he's with the Kings, which they got a lot going on over there. And listen, I know some people have been saying Schroeder should be in the Hall of Fame what he does at Nash. I think he can make a case, but you obviously know NBA media is not going to want to give him that time of day because they always look at what he do in the NBA, what have he done as far as All-Star numbers, championship numbers. But internationally, I think Dennis Schroeder has made a case that he is one of the best international players, even on a star level, because winning medal for your country multiple times not easy to do. Being an MVP not easy to do, and he's been nothing but an ultra competitor in EuroLeague. I know some people like to say that that's not as great as America ball, but given the way the NBA is really leaning into the Euro movement with EuroLeague and international stars, don't be surprised if some people do want to give Dennis Schroeder that recognition, even if he never wins a championship in the American League, because he definitely has established a great international following, and he did get paid by the Kings. So
No,
I'm happy that he's getting some recognition for what he does do.
so I want to bring up.
Even though he cost us the tank last year.
I wanted to bring up something Javon Ship brought up in the comments about Jalen Wilson, about him only being he wasn't a ball handler. He was you know what I mean, a guy who was like catch and shoot. I agree with that. My thing is, I didn't expect Jalen Wilson to be taking people off the dribble,
Mhm.
dunking and doing all this extra stuff, because I knew that wasn't his game. My thing is, he wasn't taking care of the basketball. He was turning the ball over. And I think his shooting regressed. Like,
Oh
that was his
wow.
bread and butter, was his shooting. And he was like, he didn't shoot that well last year, bro.
Yeah, he was missing a lot of threes, and he just looked lifeless out there. Like the energy level wasn't there. I just felt like missed opportunities. Like Wilson legitimately had a chance last year to establish some type of bench role with this team. It just felt like he was just going through the ebbs and flows. Maybe because our team was really unbalanced, but still, like you got to stand out and show you want to be here. I give him props for doing well in summer league, but it's summer league. Like you got to show what you can do in the pros, and it just felt like it was a missed opportunity for Jalen Wilson, and he's on the bubble, unfortunately, just because our GM drafted 5 rookies, first GM to ever do it. So unfortunately, some guys whose money's not guaranteed, they're on the bubble because of that, and they have to fight even harder in training camp and preseason to validate having a role in this team. And Wilson is definitely one of those guys that's gonna have to fight for his roster spot for sure.
Well, for sure. I mean, the way the Nets are moving, they got a lot of uncertainty about a lot of the guys on this team, and that's
Yeah.
to be expected
Hey,
because.
Joey, you want to talk about uncertainty? Media day. We have not heard from Cam Thomas since he signed that big qualifying offer. Like, is Cam Thomas even going to get a
Mhm.
media interview on Tuesday? Because I saw yesterday he had a jersey on of Ain't She It Funny, signing a Brooklyn Nets jersey. Like, everybody's wondering, what is him and Sean Marks going to say about what happened with the negotiations? Like, everybody's wondering, will Cam get an interview, and what will both parties have to say about moving forward, and what is likely going to be an awkward few months potentially before Cam gets moved. Like that to me is like the biggest hype right now on media day that everybody wants to know.
Yeah, well, we just got to wait and find out. I mean, I'm pretty sure the media is definitely going to want to talk to Cam. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Well, will he want to
we'll
talk
see.
to them though? That's the question.
Yeah, he gonna be professional. But go back to Jay Wills. Jay Wills played better when we had Ben and you can move the pace. He played a little bit worse when we had Dennis in a slower pace. So I think him getting in transition and stuff like that helped him out playing ahead of the defense, not being, you know what I'm saying, not the defense not being set and stuff like that helped Jalen Wilson out. But his shooting did look like it fell off a little bit, like he couldn't catch a rhythm. And I think that was because of pace. You know what I'm saying? As far as Cam gonna be a professional. You know what I'm saying? Until he leave out, he gonna be straight.
That's the hope, Ice. It's just Sean Marks' organization. They are playing things very close to the vest and very off kilter. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing on media day. Besides learning about the Flatbush Five and what their goals are, it's really interesting to see what Sean says about what happened with why things went wrong. And for Cam, like Joey said, everybody's going to want to talk to him. But given how NBA media treated Cam this summer, I think he's going to choose his words. I won't say carefully, but he's definitely not going to give him the full synopsis of what's going on with his future because really he doesn't owe them anything given how they berated him. So that to me is going to be very interesting to see on media day. Besides learning more about the young guys on our team and what their goals are for this year, that's definitely going to be interesting for sure. But like you said, Jalen Wilson, Drew Timmy, Tyrese Martin, Whitehead, those 4 particularly, their roster spots are in danger right before the beginning of the season. The only difference is Whitehead's his does have to be guaranteed till October 31st. But all 4 of those guys definitely got to show you a lot quick if they want to hold the roster spot down. But that's also kind of the good thing about this. We want to figure out who's a fit and who's not a fit long term with the Brooklyn Nets.
Definitely trying to figure that out. We trying to figure that out before training camp start. Who's gonna be on the team before
Right.
training camp? You know what I mean? This is tough right now. You know what I'm saying? And like Joey said, and you said, one of these guys gonna go. Drew Timmy, Tyrese Martin, Jalen. You know what I mean? One of them guys is gonna be. I mean, 2 of them guys might be out. 2 of them guys might be actually out. Jalen Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Derek, I don't know if Derek gonna stay on the team. He could be. He still got a contract, so he might be on the team till next year, or he probably be, you know what I'm saying? He could get let go at some point in time too, if he don't ball. You know what I mean? Because he has to ball this year. I don't think he has a chance. He might have a chance next year, depending on keep him on the team, but he has to ball. Yo, that's my guy Tyrese Martin. You already know, Javon. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. I need Martin on the team, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, if he gets waived, you got to make a tribute video, Ice. Like me, Joe. We want to see the highlight show of Tyrese Martin, that 31-point performance. I expect a tribute for Tyrese Martin if he gets waived from Ice, the Scoutmo.
Yeah, yo, my guy Tyrese. He gotta make the team. We need more threes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, no, we need to stop the threes. Listen, I understand Jordy wants these guys to shoot a lot of threes, but look at Boston, man. When they get too comfortable shooting threes, they can lose the game so quickly. So another thing that should be easily able to beat. Like I understand we want to try to do a Euro style offense, but don't forget about the mid range completely. Don't forget about interior offense, like the Brooklyn Nets. I understand right now we got to shoot a lot of threes because we want to get a top lottery pick, but after next year, switch up this offense. Like we cannot be a one-dimensional monotone offense where we're just playing patty cake with the ball and chucking threes all night long. Like we definitely eventually got to make our offense unpredictable because the way it looks right now with just causing turnovers, having a fast tempo and shooting threes, like no team is going to want to even like feel threatened by us. Like I hope eventually when we have the right pieces, this offense really gets figured out because that's one of the main things that eventually can make the Nets, a force to be reckoned with if they eventually can figure all that out. But right now, I understand it. But man, I can't wait till this offense is a lot better than it is right now. That's for sure.
Better players, better offense. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
one more thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got too many topics, but MPJ keeps being a very, very big topic for people to talk about. And people actually believe that he will, not maybe, but he will have a breakout season with the Nets. You know what I'm saying? They think he will show up a lot different from being in Denver. You know what I mean? So are we sleeping on MPJ, or just, you know what I'm saying, other fans see something different that we not seeing, bro?
MPJ just needs to be professional and play his role. And the great thing is he has an expanded role this time. He's going from a third, fourth option to a primary or secondary option, depending on what happens with Cam's situation. So for him, it's be a good supporting vet, give good defense. We looked at his stats. His rebounding numbers are astoundingly very good. Like he can definitely give you some good rebounding, help push out that tempo. He can knock down threes like nobody's business. If he can make his playmaking a lot better, I think it makes his value eventually as a trade piece even more better than it is right now. So he definitely has a lot he can work on with this team. And the good thing is, with this being such a young team, he's going to have all the chances in the world this season to really elevate his game to another level. But we definitely want to see him be a good veteran first and foremost and help these young guys grow their games. And the great thing is he brings you championship experience. And him and Jordy, that relationship for me is going to be interesting to watch this season. Like, well, how much responsibility does he give MPJ on a night-to-night basis? What do they do behind the scenes together to help build more confidence in this young core that we have? Like if MPJ can establish some type of veteran role, I could see a possibility in 2 years where once his contract, if they let it expire to $40 million in cap space, the Nets could bring him back on a cheaper deal, a cheaper fair deal to be a third or fourth option on this team realistically. Like I just hope that MPJ could listen. I understand he wants to do the podcast stuff, do it on the free time, but this season, just be there for the young guys and do your role to a T because I think MPJ has a lot to potential over this team if he could just be a good solid vet and work on his game more. So I look forward to seeing what he could bring to this team and how he could up his value because this young core definitely needs some good vets around them. And I know, like you said, MPJ has been a topic, but for some of the wrong reasons. But this right now, this season is his chance to really put that into the back and show that he could be a good vet for this team. So I look forward to seeing him hopefully just balance it all out somehow.
Yeah, Lee, we pull back up. You know what I'm saying? MPJ has been a topic all over. And it's not about the podcast stuff. It has a little bit. But as far as being a scorer on his team, people believe that he seriously will have a breakout season for the Nets. You know what I'm saying? They think he can actually play better than he did in Denver. And I just read something too about Jordy. Now that I'm talking about MPJ, that
Right.
Jordy, when he was on Denver in the 5 or 4
Right.
years that Jordy was there, he got him to the best efficiency that he could be at. Jordy worked with him on that
Right.
and got him to that efficiency. You know what I'm saying? As far as what he shoots damn near 50-40. You know what I'm saying? So Jordy
Right.
got him there. So I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I don't. They said when I looked it up, they didn't say like Jordy had a connection as far as getting him here, but he has a connection of helping him became a better efficient player. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about that? And,
Mhm.
player one said he gonna average 25 and 8 rebounds. You
Wow.
know what I'm saying?
I don't, I don't know about that. One thing I do know is that a lot of the plays that Cam Johnson got ran for him last year. The pin downs, the double cross screens and everything.
Mhm.
Coming off the screens, all that shit. A lot of them is gonna be ran for MPJ, and I ain't gonna lie, MPJ gonna be jacking up a lot of goddamn shots. I ain't gonna hold you. Like that's a
There's a
nigga
good
that's
chance.
not
There's a
concerned.
good chance.
That's a nigga that like that's he is not concerned with passing that shit. I'll tell you that much. But I mean, like he is going to bomb that bitch up, for sure. So look forward to that. I mean, yeah, I think he like at this point, man, like his media is definitely up. Is this? I guess if you want to say his stock is up, 38 mil this year, 40 mil next year. He never gonna see that much money in a year ever again in his life. So I think he's right now he's just enjoying it. He's enjoying the last of the Mohegans. You know what I'm saying? So, but in terms of his play, he gonna be jacking up a lot of damn shots. It's a lot. It's gonna be a lot of catch and shoot. I think in terms of athleticism and playing an open floor, everybody like to think him and Cam Johnson is the same exact player. I don't see it realistically. It's a tad bit different to me. I think he's going to be on the rebounds. He could average like a good north of 6 rebounds, 5 or 6 rebounds. I don't think Cam Johnson is aggressive on the boards as he is, man. Because
Right. Right.
when he was in Denver, bro, like him, Aaron Gordon, Joker, they got to the boards. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, I'm listening. I stand on what I said last week, and we just need one person to complement this all and piece this all together. That way, we could keep the right pieces in place, man. However, we want to do it. But
Right.
in terms of the player profile and the player archetypes, I would like to say. I believe, I think I know where the front office is going in terms of the player archetypes. I just don't know if these particular players in general that's on our roster right now could get us to where we want to go. But the thought of the player archetype is correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, how often can you find a Danny Wolf? How often can you find the player archetype of a Danny Wolf, of a Yegor Demen, of a Drake Powell, like these MPJ, like these type of players? I think they have the idea in terms of the player archetype. I just don't know if it's going to work in terms of these particular players. But if they could find more players, I guess similar to what they want in terms of what they got this year, I think it could work in the future. They 1 to 9 rotation could work. So sooner or later, we just gonna have to wait and see, man. Hopefully they don't spaz out and go for another roll at the dice and go for another trade. And if they do get another trade, to try to trade up for a young star, somebody that only been in the league of
I,
2 or 3 years.
I told
You
you we'd be
already
on
know where
that.
I'm going with this. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
y'all already know where
I
I'm
know
going
where
with
you're
this, but
going with
so
that.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, just trade for somebody that's like not seasoned and not have their best years somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like J Kidd, the one thing about it, Jason Kidd, before he got to the Nets, he didn't have his best years somewhere else, outside of the Nets uniform. Before Nets uniform, he did play for Phoenix, he did play for Dallas, but he was still young in the league, and he still was far beyond his years. Well, especially when he got to the Nets in the Nets uniform. So, if they could strike gold and find something of that nature and to complement the players, a good amount of the players that they want to keep, I think it will work. But as far as MPJ go, MPJ, could be that player archetype that we're looking for somewhere down the line. Because I don't think we're gonna keep him in the next 2-3 years anyway. So I mean, focus this. All I can tell Nets fans is focus on the archetypes of these players as opposed to the players themselves.
No, that's a great thing you're saying, Leaf, because we did one of our biggest complaints last year was we got to stop the small ball stuff. Sean Mark's been doing this for 10 years. Small ball's not getting you anywhere. The league is evolving before your eyes get taller. They get bigger. All the 5 guys we drafted are over 6'4", so that's a positive. It's just we didn't know they were all going to be pretty much at similar positions on the court. That's like where there's the confusion that Leaf's talking about. Like archetype, yes, but next year's draft is make or break for so many reasons, like especially our front court. There's some great wings at the top of that draft. We already know about the DeBosses, the Cam Boozers, the Nate Amants, Tunde Yasafu. If you have not heard of this man, look him up. Looks like Ant-Man 2.0. Like, seriously, he's somebody that's like we saw on a mock draft freezes around like 7 or 8. That guy could be top 5 if he really could show you that he's more than just a hype and what he could show you little spurts. Like, there are definitely some good wings in next year's draft. And if I'm this Brooklyn scouting department, I'm scouting those wings because we definitely need that wing to complement a lot of our guard depth on this team. Because if you have that connector, it makes the pieces of the puzzle with the archetypes Leafs is talking about more sustainable. So I think for these young guys, it's learn your role this year, establish your role, work on your weaknesses, and be ready to complement who you draft in next year's draft. But they have to get it right this year because if we don't get next year's draft right, to what Leaf said, you're going to have to get back in the star market. Don't have our pick after this year. Like, you have 31 picks. You have all these seconds, and you have 13 first-round picks where you could trade 8 or 9 of them right now if you wanted to. So for the Nets, hopefully you get that top franchise guy. But if you somehow don't and you get another good complementary piece of young core, you got to go out there in the market and get a star that fits your timeline because you do not want to be playing losing directionless basketball the next 2 to 3 more years, especially when the East is this weak right now. And it looks like it's getting even weaker. So I think the great thing about the Nets is they have cap space flexibility, all the draft capital in the world. It's just you need the right pieces to balance out this whole damn thing. And once you do, I think the Brooklyn Nets could be on the right track towards getting back to that Brooklyn culture, the Brooklyn way that we all want to see. Because right now it's going to be tough to see this season, but we can get through it and they get that franchise guy next year's draft. It can really change the dynamic and the energy level of this whole base just like that. I really hope they can do it, but John Marks and Joe Desai got to step it up this year. No more excuses. If they make even one more excuse, I don't think anybody could give this organization validation go forward to lead this era. I really can't if they can't get this right.
Yo, we got Breezy showed up.
Ooh,
He on the live right now. You know what I'm saying? Breeze. Yo, we talking about a few things, so I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back a little bit. Ricky Council, not gonna make the team. He probably gonna get cut either tomorrow, Tuesday. Yuri got cut. They signing players just to let them go to meet the salary floor. So they just spend a little bit of bread so they could meet the salary floor. So Yuri got cut. Ricky Council probably won't be here. Fambo and Grant Nelson going to battle it out either to make the roster or the last two-way spot. And we end up with Ricky not there. We have 21 players in training camp, and we still got to cut it down to 18. So it'll be probably 2 more players left to cut after that. You know what I'm saying? You already know. Drew Timmy, Tyrese Martin, Jalen Wilson. You know what I mean? Those are guys left. And don't forget Tucson is gone too. You know what I mean? So what you think about that, bro?
I like Fanbo and the other dude you mentioned next to him. I forget his name. What you said? It's Fanbo and who? What's the dude? Grant Nelson?
Yeah, Grant Nelson.
Yeah, those two, they like stretch fours. I'm interested in inside the 3-point line. You hear me the whole season talk about inside the 3-point line because it's important. You can't try to copy and paste and win like other teams. It's not going to work. Every team gonna have their own style. Unless you just got the personnel and the coaching is irrelevant. But even then, you need coaching. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they putting a lot on Jordy drafting five dudes. You getting all these new talent. Where's the leadership going to be? I had seen something about, I was going at it with Dylan and talking about LaMelo Ball, how I went and traded for Cam Thomas. I see a report come out saying they looking for LaMelo Ball to have leadership. I'm like, oh, word? You know what I'm saying? So case in point is, but all of these players coming and going, the thing that stands out the most for me is Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton seeing all of these different teammates, like all of these players you talking about, Ice, on these that's gonna come and go,
Yeah.
bro. They Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton, they seen them come and go. And I was doing a stream the other night, but I had to stop it short because dad duty. But I was saying that Cam Thomas played next to all his teammates. He did work. Claxton does good when he got a good point guard, somebody that could P&R with him. He's looking for the pick and roll. And, he get his head is not in the game if he's not touching the ball. He don't be getting no touches. You know what I'm saying? The way Jordy was running the ball sometimes and Jack on. But I said all that to say, as these players come and go that you're talking about, Ice, Cam Thomas and their Claxton been consistent. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. I feel like the best thing for the Brooklyn Nets is to have some type of consistency. You know what I mean? And as far as the business side of it, I get it. A lot of these franchises, when they get rookies, they keep them until their third year unless they're serious about them, and then they trade them then. So that'll be the quote unquote market for the Brooklyn Nets. Same thing we did with Zaire Williams. Zaire Williams was in his third year with the Grizzlies. They wasn't fan to sign him going into that contract year. You know what I'm saying? So just look for third year guys, players in the league, and you know what I mean. I think that's the way we gonna look for. But as far as the archetype, yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did. They definitely went for the guard. They went for the back, backcourt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, again, like I said, no matter who you put back there with Cam Thomas, he gonna get busy with. You can't name one teammate Cam Thomas had he ain't get busy with. He got busy with every teammate. So all of this fit in the system and fit in Jordy team and fit here, fit there. He can't play here. But there's no debate to my point. He played next to Ben Simmons. He played good next to every teammate he had in the backcourt with him. He did work with. So my thing is that's the most consistent thing that the Brooklyn Nets got. They got a guy that's consistent in what he does. He does scoring. Like that's what he do. It's not just a 3-pointer. In my opinion, why wouldn't Jordy Fernandez want to keep a player that could get you more than a 3-pointer? Because more of his offense comes from the 3-point shot. You got to get some of that. And let me ask the question to the panel. How much am I consistent with saying that Jordy Fernandez, the Brooklyn Nets offense is 70% above the 3-point line and 30% inside the 3-point line? How consistent is that?
No, that's pretty consistent. I mean, if we look at what Jordy wants team to do, quick pace, shoot a lot of threes, cause turnovers. I mean, that's pretty much the system that he's running right now because you have so many pieces that aren't guaranteed to be on this team in the next 1 to 2 years. So yeah, like you're saying, like 70% threes, 30% interior. It seems like Jordy really wants to get away from interior play so much as far as ISO goes. He wants the pace to be super quick and wants everybody to be at their corners just ready to hit shots, whether they make it or not. That seems like that's what the Jordy system is about. And Breeze, good to have you here. I have a question for you. I mean, we're less than a day from media day, and the NBA media is going to want to interview Cam Thomas and ask him what happened this summer with taking the qualifying offer and not taking the contract with the 30 mil. Like, what do you think Cam Thomas' mindset is going to media day? And do you think he's ready to answer questions to the media, or is he actually not going to want to talk much to the media? Like, what's your thought process with Cam Thomas with less than a day before media day, Breeze?
I think Cam Thomas is going to be soft spoken. I think he's going to be professional, and I think he's going to be, short, spoken. Like he's going to say what he say in a few words. He's not going to be long winded. Answer the questions how they ask him, and you might see a smile, but for the most part, ain't shit funny. He come in there to do his job. This is part of the job. And it is part of the job. He has to be a professional, regardless of what's happening with the front office. So, I think he is going. Expect professionalism from Cam Thomas.
Yeah, that's the same thing I said. He gonna be professional. He gonna talk professional until he leave out. Even when he leave out, he's still gonna be professional. But what do you think about like there's a few things you missed out on, so I'm gonna run it back a little bit. Kobe, there was a poll on Twitter about Kobe Buffkin and Tariq Whitehead, and the poll said that they think Kobe Buffkin will have a longer career in the NBA than Derek Whitehead. And what do you think? Because a lot of people think MPJ is really going to have a breakout season for the Nets. Just to catch you up real quick. Those are the last two topics for.
Yeah, I was in a, voted, and I was on the 70% side. I said Corey Kobe. I'm going with Kobe. Yeah, I don't like Three Whitehead, man. He ain't, you know what I mean? I think he need more time. He a G League player. He probably played for the Long Island Nets. We start averaging like 22. Let him do it. I think Timmy, like, no, seriously, Timmy set the bar. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you, bro. Timmy set the bar, bro. Like, after he played the way he did, and then he had the interview, and he was like, "Yeah, the reason why I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all of this so I could get an NBA contract. Ain't that what I'm supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?" So he kept it real. And these players, they making 40,000 in the G League. You see Keon Johnson, you see DJ, you see Timmy. These players are serious. You know what I'm saying? Noah Clowney, they come up, they trying to get that two-way, man. That two-way ain't no joke. That shit could change their life.
Right.
But yeah, I'm with Kobe Buffkin. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna be a solid player. He looked like a Jordy Fernandez kind of player. I think Jordy probably put that call in. No lie.
All right, and MPJ. I don't know if you've seen that article. It said MPJ. Not what an article. It was a post that said that MPJ was an underrated move, and a lot of people, like I said, think that this dude is gonna have a breakout season for the Nets. Are we sleeping on him or what?
Yeah, I mean, you know, my thing is, yeah, you gotta show me something, bro. I'm not saying I'm sleeping on him, but I'm not thinking he should come here and take Cam Thomas' spot. You know that. He ain't, hold on. For real, he shouldn't be no. Let me throw it. Let me hear it. He shouldn't be no number one option. He should be like he should fall in line. I'm saying you know what I mean. It's a chain of command. It's a pecking order. You know what I mean. He go be number two. If it Cam when Dennis Schroeder was here, Cam Thomas he was averaging 18 shots a game. Schroeder was averaging 14 shots a game. That was the 1 and 2. Schroeder not here, but Cam Thomas still here. Cam Thomas should be getting 18, 20 shots. And you know what I'm saying? MPJ, he could get 18 to 16 shots. You know what I'm saying? Gotta do things a little different, man.
Yeah, facts. I don't have too many more topics other than that. You know what I mean? Media day coming up, training camp coming up, same week this week. You know what I mean? It's finna go down. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for both of these things to hurry up and just, you know what I'm saying, so we can get to it.
But yeah, I wanted to get my take on MPJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think he's gonna definitely have the opportunity to put up those type of numbers, for sure. Like everybody said, he's gonna have the opportunity. My concern is, what I'm worried about is the athleticism and his reactionary skills and playmaking. Is that going to be there? Because it's a lot different. I get it. He's going to have the opportunities and he's going to get the shots, but that pressure is a lot different when you're the number one option on the team, even if it's a not a good team. You know what I mean? Teams are going to play you totally different than when you were in Denver. So I'm really skeptical, and I'm really want to see how it turns out, because I want to see if he's going to be up for the task to really take that next level. Like I said, he's going to get the opportunity to do it. I don't know if his athleticism and things of that nature are going to hold him back from doing that in his playmaking, but you know what I mean? Time will tell. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think he'll average about 22. And if he average above that, like player one said, 25, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's different. Because I think he could average 22, like you said, if he get a lot of shots, like we were saying, he get a lot of shots. You know what I'm saying? I seen his workout. I know, like I said, I mentioned Jordy and him in Denver had him the most efficient. You know what I'm saying? So now being on the Nets, Jordy hands on. You know what I'm saying? There's no telling. I don't think they're going to, because I saw one of his workouts. He said he didn't want to run around a lot. He didn't want to do the Cam Johnson type thing where he's running off screens and doing all that. You know what I mean? I think he want to be more in a one dribble pull up, catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? The thing the thing I think he needs to work on is his playmaking, because that's always been down. His rebounding been up a lot, 7, 8 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But his passing, and I've seen somewhere that, you know what I'm saying, that's a part of his game where he gonna have to step it up a little bit.
Right, but how do you feel about him creating his own shot off the dribble? Because here's the thing, that's what he wants to do. But the team may not be giving him that. He
True.
may have to, if he's the number one option, it's going to be times where he's going to have to put the ball on the floor and be able to create on his own. Vice
True.
versa, him just pulling up and shooting. Like, he may not have an opportunity to get those easy buckets or get those easy buckets all the time as the number one option on this team.
That's true. I don't think he has very good creation anymore. I think he lost it with the surgery. But I do think his one dribble pull up is good enough. One dribble, two dribble pull up is good enough where he can, if he has an isolation moment, I think he may be able to get those shots off. Like a full creation though, like
Yeah.
ISO like Cam Thomas. I don't think like
Yeah,
I don't think
but you know what,
has
Ice is not even the like, I'm not trying to say like, yo, he got to have a bag, because we all know. Listen, the NBA is about doing 1 or 2 moves and getting your shot off. You don't really have to have a bag. But the thing is, will he be able to shoot over people? Because KD ain't won't really show his bag like that most of the time. All he gonna do is just turn around and shoot over you because he taller than you and he can shoot real good.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So will MPJ be able to, back to the basket, turn around, shoot over you, stuff like that? One step dribble,
But
two
Joey, what
step
about
dribble.
the P and R with Diego and MPJ? You see that? Is that a thing? The P and R between, or the pick and pop. Look for, you know what I'm saying, MPJ on the top of the three, or the pick and roll to the
Yeah,
basket.
but
I
the
don't
thing,
see him as a
I
pick
think
and
I
roll
think
guy.
it
He a
could
pick
be a
and pop
thing,
guy though.
but I think it could be a thing. But the thing is, in order for the PNR to really, really work to its a high consistency, people got to respect you as a point guard and respect you as a point guard who can score. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if they don't really respect you as far as like being a scoring threat, then they gonna lay off you a little bit.
But he
You
is a
know?
scoring threat for the pick and pop. They gotta respect that pick and
No,
pop.
I'm
Maybe not
talking
the P
about
and R.
Yegor.
Oh yeah.
Because you can
But
manipulate him
how
better when
tall is
they
he
know
though,
you're a
bro?
scoring threat.
How tall
Because,
is he?
huh?
How
Yegor?
tall is he?
Who?
Yeah,
He's like
Diego?
6'8", he's like
Diego.
6'8", 6'9", 6'8", 6'9".
He got the great potential to have a midi that run the city, man.
Who you talking about? Yegor?
Yeah.
Diego, yeah.
Yeah.
Why if he's 6'8", 6'9", he a point guard, he gonna have a mismatch.
So that's
You learn
that's
the
my
midi, you ain't gotta get all the way to the basket.
but that's my thing. When you in that PNR, you gotta have a nice little midi, or you gotta be able to get to the basket and finish. If you decide not to pass the ball.
He had a dunk this past summer, but for him, it's speed needs to get better. He needs to get physically stronger. I appreciate he admitted I'm going to spend a good portion of my rookie year in the gym. Like him having that self-awareness on one of his biggest weaknesses. If he could get physically stronger and quicker on the court, it's definitely going to make him more of a lethal threat as far as interior play goes. I think his three-point shot, which was a weakness he had to work on, we saw it in summer league. Let's see in the pros if that three-point shot can stick. But really, I think the interior, it's going to be an ebbs and flows with him this year. You're not going to see it always, but he has it potentially if he can get physically stronger.
I don't know. We gonna see. I mean, it's a lot of question marks, man. I think a lot of these guys got issues, glaring issues. I'm not trying to be negative because mostly all players, no player is a perfect player. You know what I mean? All players got their goods and their bads, but like, yeah, I think MPJ is a good little player, but I think it's limits to what he can do based off of him, his injury history and his athleticism not being there. Like when he was in Denver, he was playing off the ball, shooting, one or two dribbles. He had the space. Now he's not going to have that type of space in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay,
Yo, what
Jay
up,
with the
Jay?
pull up. This is Jay
Yo, what's
is
good?
on the live. Talking about MPJ, bro. I'm rewind it a little bit for you. Um seeing the poll on Twitter about Kobe Buffkin and Derek. They think Kobe Buffkin gonna have a longer NBA career than Derek Whitehead. And are we sleeping on MPJ? I seen a lot of things going around saying that they think MPJ is gonna have a breakout season for the Nets. Those two topics we on right now. What you think?
Uh, I think he could have a breakout season. He probably gonna get the most usage he ever had in his life. And what was the first one?
Kobe Buffkin, and Derek Whitehead. Me and Breezy
Uh,
and John seen that poll on Twitter. You know what I mean? And they voted, and it was like 71% think Kobe Buffkin will have a longer career than Derek Whitehead, and they think Kobe Buffkin is a steal for the Nets. They is going around saying that Kobe Buffkin is kind of like we sleeping on Kobe Buffkin. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to be able to score for the Nets. He might be a top scorer for the Nets.
the only Kobe I acknowledge is Bryant, but but I never heard of this kid really. So, but I don't think it would be much. It would be difficult for him to do much better than Derek Whitehead. So there's that.
All right, that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? You know, media day. Y'all going to? Oh, well, hold on. Practice in the park coming up too, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
On Saturday. So, oh yeah, media day, training camp, practice in the park. Those three things are coming up. Anybody else got anything else to add to this? Because Jay just pulled up. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Nobody else got nothing to add. I'm gonna just run it back.
I got something real quick. So I saw in the on Twitter that I think it was the Brooklyn Way. What one of those Nets pages said that Claxton might be a good trade target this year because of his contract.
Oh, okay. Did they say any teams or anything? They just said Claxton.
Nah, they didn't really specify teams, but because I think his contract it gets doesn't his contract get smaller as the years go by? I think this is the
Yeah, it goes down to like 22, 20 the last 2 years. But if you're looking at three teams, Joey, I would say Pacers, Hornets, and Boston. Pacers, they lost Miles Turner, obviously, and they got some guys, but they're not really main starters. And then you got the Hornets who have Mason Plumlee. I think the Hornets have the worst center right now, center unit right now in the NBA. They're definitely a team to look out for. And the Celtics have Anthony Simons, and they don't
right.
have a big. So those are definitely three teams that could be on the radar for Claxton if Claxton could boost up his numbers and work with all these guards. But if you look for three teams, I'd say Boston,
Yeah,
Hornets,
but
and
but the thing
Pacers.
is, Claxton might still have value because of his contract. That's the thing, because his contract is going to be so good that
Right.
teams is going to be willing to take him on, but just for that alone.
I'm gonna check it out right now. While I'm checking that out, Jay, they just signing these guys and releasing them for salary. Run it back to the beginning for you. Um, uh, uh, Yuri is going to get cut. Ricky Council going to get cut. They just pay these guys a little bit to get out of the salary cap. I mean, to meet the salary cap floor. You already know Tucson is gone. You know what I'm saying? Those three guys are not going to be here. We got 21 players until training camp, and Fambo and Grant Nelson is probably going to battle it out for the two-way spot. And then we still got two more guys to cut. You already know after that during training camp: Timmy, Tyrese Martin, Jalen Wilson, and whoever else. You know what I mean? So that's where we at right now. I'm checking out Clack's contract.
Her. Man, I told you, but it's about to be like fucking Hunger Games out there, man. May the best man win. May may the favor be with you, or whatever they be saying. Yeah.
So they're gonna be chucking, right?
Well,
They're gonna
in
be
But
training
chucking.
that ain't gonna necessarily keep him a spot though.
or preseason.
Yeah, but if you got a chance to take the shot or pass the shot,
You got to
you
do what's
probably gonna
best for
take
the
that shot.
team.
You
You
gotta
gotta
make the
Yeah,
right play. You
you,
gotta
you
make the
right.
right
You
play.
gotta make the right play. It's not about just scoring. 'Cause if you don't make the right play, they ain't gonna want you. You shit. You
but
see how
no,
they treating Cam?
but this is what I'm saying. This whole thing I don't like, Jay, about how they treating Cam. The whole market thing. Bro, the NBA is always going to need an elite scorer. I don't care what the market look like. And everybody, not everybody, more John. He was like, "Yo, I was listening to the clip, the short that Ice dropped. You know, I listen to Ice podcast. I seen the clip that he dropped. So, and you know, I was like, nah, he's smart. I disagree with John Tate. He's smart. He waited until 10 teams could give him the opportunity to go there. He could choose where he wants to go. He has more freedom from a player's perspective. The way John and everyone saw the media is talking is, oh no, give power to the franchise because they got you by the short and curly. Case in point is you all trying to put it in a situation where it behooves you as the player. You're not just going to do what they want you to do because it benefits them. What about benefiting me? Like you gotta look at when you listen to these players. Listen to Iman Shumpert say he wish he left the Knicks so he could play point guard. Listen to Iguodala. Listen to these different players tell you they wish they did different things with their career. Listen to them say you got to be 90% mental to play this game. It's 90% mental to play this game because of everything you got to go through to play this game. The physical part is easy. They professional athletes. It's the other stuff that be in the way to try to take away and distract from basketball. Listen to these ex players. These are ex players I'll be getting my content from. Listening to what they say, listening to their podcasts. Yo, ex players got some of the best podcasts. Jeff T, Gil, and I'm not there for the antics. I'll be, you know what I'm saying, soaking up game, listening to their real accounts of what happened. Like, yo, this and that. This is what happened. This is why I had to leave because I didn't get along with the team. Andre Miller, I was just listening to him. He was like, yo, yeah, I ain't get along. They benched me. I ain't know why. So he was talking about Brian Shaw. I'm gonna play the clip on my when I put. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my phone when I got my laptop. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like they talk about how because they didn't have a good relationship with the coach, it was, you know what I'm saying? It didn't go with the way they wanted to go. You feel what I mean? That's basically what I'm trying to say. That's happening with Cam Thomas. He ain't got a good relationship with the coach, or he ain't got a good relationship with the front office. Like this guy obviously should be the number one option over Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Obviously should have been helping Kevin Durant, helping Kyrie Irving, not him or Kyrie Irving. Of course he's not gonna get no minutes. Duh. It's not either or. It's supposed to be and, especially if they teammates. Ain't they teammates? They teammates. Play both of them at the same time. But like I said, I ain't finna make this a whole Cam Thomas rant. I'm just saying that to say they
You
invested a
sure?
lot. They invest. They yeah no.
Sure.
They invested in 5 draft picks. And then look how they treating their draft pick when it's time to pay them. I could revisit Jared Allen. Ain't got nothing to do with Cam Thomas. Jared Allen was drafted by Sean Marks. Why you ain't pay him? He became an all-star the very next season. And that was my whole argument. Yo, he's progressing every year. Every year as a fan, I watch him get better. How y'all don't see this?
I
How
t-
y'all
I
don't
t-
see this? If we
I tell
hold
you,
on, what are we now with Jared Allen on the team? Like, what are the Brooklyn Nets? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you serious?
you asked
Y'all
the
let
biggest
them slide,
question.
and y'all have all these other conversations, and nobody want to mention Jared Allen unless I bring him up. But I bring him up because of the unfair shit that's happening to Cam Thomas. The same way Jared Allen wasn't budging. I don't know if y'all remember that. Jared Allen wasn't budging. He was like, nope, this is the money I want. I want this money. And rightfully so, he went up versus the only one that busted his ass was Joel Embiid. He went up versus Rudy Gobert, all of the other top centers. He was giving them work. The
Miles
only one
Turner
that
cooked him
got
too.
only one was only that was the only one. Besides that, for the most part, for
Leafy
him to
Petty.
be, yeah, but even if it's technically true, but that's still 28 other teams that I'm talking about. You feel what I'm saying? You see the sign that's heavy? Case in point is Jared Allen in his rookie scale contract showed potential enough to the front office where they could have said, yo, we should pay him. Pay this guy. That's the point. Not about whether I'm right or wrong or me and Leaf. The point is pay the players that you draft. You'll pay Cam Johnson. You'll pay these. You take on Ben Simmons' contract. Just those two things. And you won't pay the players that you draft in the Jared Allen. Ridiculous, man.
I'd say this the way Breezy's putting it. Like everybody, a lot of people like to give Sean all this credit in the world for being such a great drafter, but it's like Jathan BK put it perfectly. The last 10 years, none of the young talent on this team has ever been in the accolades for NBA, All NBA, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man, no accolades whatsoever. But Sean Marks can't hold on to the young talent because he doesn't evaluate them properly. Let Jared Allen go before he hit his highest ceiling. Let Karis LeVert go before he became a solid role player. Like if you don't invest in your talent properly and you let them go, don't be surprised if another team, another coach can figure out how to better utilize them. And that's why this coaching staff have to really develop these five guys, because if at least 2 out of 5 of them don't work, then really it wasn't a successful draft by taking this huge gamble. That's why it's so important to get it right with these rookies this year, because if you
Niggas gonna
don't, we're just
turn
doing the
us to
same crap
Five
again.
Guys burgers and fries.
Yo,
Yo,
Five Guys burgers and fries. Yo, that should be the new team motto.
This nigga
Five
Jay is a
Guys
hungry
burgers and
nigga, bro.
fries.
Like Five Guys, really, bro? Go get
Nigga,
some
Yo,
John,
that's
food.
when
amazing.
John said they got to do good with the 5 guys they drafted, these niggas,
Yo, forget the
they
Flatbush
drafted
This nigga
Five.
five
either high
burgers.
or
Jay,
hungry or
forget the
both,
Flatbush
bro.
Five. It's the Five Guys. Wait, what'd you say,
Listen,
Jay? Say again.
he said the 5 guys. Yeah, he either high or hungry or both, bro. Listen, Jared Allen got served by one too many
Actually,
people.
both.
Yeah, I know it, bro. I can hear it in your voice, bro. Like I'm like, yeah, this nigga high and hungry.
Five Guys
Yo,
with the burgers and fries. I love it.
Jared Allen got cooked by way too many people in the past couple of years. We're not gonna forget that he got cooked by Mitchell Robinson by himself. In that first time that they met the Knicks in the first round. We're not gonna forget that he got cooked by just about every other center, bro. Like in the he got cooked by Clint Capella in the play-in when a few years ago when they played
But
Atlanta.
should Sean Marks have drafted him? That's like this is like semantics.
It's not
Should
semantics.
he
It's
have
true.
paid him? Should he have paid him?
Should he have paid him at that time? I mean, it depends. If he, all I'm gonna say,
It depends. That's a yes or no question. He
How
was
we know
asking for
Jared Allen is
$100
going to be
million.
the Jared Allen hit
it's not a yes or
that
no
he is
question
Bro,
over
he
because
there
if
on
paid
his
Joe Harris out of all 4 of those players, bro. He was wrong. You could defend him. Go ahead, Leaf.
I'm not defending them, bro. Like the
It
wrong
depends
move.
on what then. What it depend on?
It depends on, bro. It depends on all the other young players that was coming up with Jared Allen too, bro.
Oh
Because
my God.
what do you mean? Oh yeah, like God ain't gonna help you, bro. It's just me. Like come on,
No,
so it's
bro,
just,
you stringing me along. I don't want to hear this song and dance. I ask you a straight question. Is a yes or no? And you dancing. I don't
I'm not
salsa with you,
dancing.
bro.
I'm not
I don't
dancing.
salsa. This
Hold
ain't
on.
making that ain't gay, man.
I'm not dancing. Hold on. Just don't hold your fire. Hold on.
Bro,
I'm saying,
justify him not paying Jared Allen. I dare you.
but we got to remember who Jared Allen came up with. He came up with Karis LeVert. He came up with Spencer Dinwiddie. He came up with D'Lo. If they would have kept that whole regime, then yeah, of course you pay Jared Allen $100 million. But they didn't do that because Katie and Kyrie said yes to Brooklyn. So what happens is they played the front office definitely played yes man. They answered to this, that, and the third. They basically laid down the red carpet for them and whatever they wanted. It ended up not working out. Just like all the other big threes that tried to come into fruition, they all fizzled out because of injuries, and that's what it was.
Well, that and they overvalued Claxton, and I have to give credit to this. Claxton did play well with the stars that we had, but you took those stars away. Did Claxton progress like Jared Allen progressed? Hell no. Two completely different styles of progression.
all
Exactly.
right, hold on.
Even if he give, even
But I thought
if Even if Clax give him work when he plays him,
Right,
so what?
right.
On
And
a
here's the
regular
thing: what?
basis, on a the game-to-game basis, who you could rely on for rebounds?
Right,
This is my center. Now, I don't need him to hit three-pointers. I don't need him. I need him to block shots. He's an anchor. Claxton is
right,
not an anchor.
I mean, he
right,
That's
wasn't
the
running for
right.
that's
right.
D-Boy
And
when
hold
he
on.
was
Hey,
here's
playing with the big three.
Claxton only work if you got somebody as big as him or bigger. Pause.
Every time
right.
If
Jared
Claxton
if,
Allen
seen
was
that
Let,
man,
playing
let,
with
every
let,
time
hold on, let me
Claxton seen
finish.
that
Hold
man,
on,
he
let me
gave him
finish.
work. So
Hold on, let me finish.
this is null and void.
Well, Jared Allen is a better player than Nick Claxton. Go ahead.
no, here's the difference. One guy bulked up,
Now, how
one
come
guy
he always?
slimmed
How come
down.
Claxton always
But
cooking?
have we not considered the team Jared Allen is on
Exactly.
for
He
him
plays
to
next to
even
Mowgli.
be right? He plays next
He
to
part
Evan
of the reason
Mobley.
why Cleveland can't get over the hump.
Bruh,
To be honest,
he
like
think
I get what you're saying. Like
Sean Mark should have
with
paid. So
Claxton,
hold on, you think? Hold on, let's take it there. Sean Mark should have paid Claxton, but he shouldn't have paid Jared Allen. That's what LM and Leaf is
Claxton was
saying,
in
right?
deep point. Claxton was playing with the big three, he was in deep point. He was shooting 70% from the field.
Exactly.
It wasn't.
Yeah, but
He
he
was
had three.
balling
But
out.
Ellen, he had three stars. Jared Allen has
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell.
that's good.
Like you
Yeah,
gotta
look,
give him
Jared
but
Allen
hold
Oh
on.
won.
That's
yeah.
my hold on. That's my point
Jared Allen
exactly.
has failed the Cavs in the playoffs, bro, time and time
Look at
again.
who Jared Allen is playing with. That's
Now.
the point. Now is the point. When Claxton was here, mind you, when Claxton first got here, that I believe that's when KD and Kyrie first. So they probably thought, "Yo, we got Allen's replacement in Claxton." That's what
Bruh,
they
no,
probably
and he
thought
was
at the
not a
time.
replacement. LM. Let's at least agree and say that Clax is more of a weak side defender, and Jared Allen's more of a anchor on defense. That's
Yeah, we
fair.
But
agree with that.
if I would agree, but if you looked
Okay,
at
so
his
what's more
Georgia, if
important to the
you
Brooklyn Nets? Hold on, what's
but
more important to the
look
Brooklyn Nets? An anchor or weak side help? I mean, we
if
need
you
both,
if
but what's
you
more important?
if you looked at his Georgia tape, they thought he could be an anchor because he was a good defender in Georgia. That was his thing. So they probably thought, yo, we can turn Claxton into our Jared Allen because he is a good defender. He's more athletic. He can get up the floor faster. So he can be that guy. We don't got no at the time, we all know what the thing was on the Brooklyn Nets when we had the big three. Everybody in the media was saying, "Yo, who's going to be the defender?" They have no
yeah.
defenders.
And the
That was
most
trying to
important
mold
part, he was
Claxton
cheaper.
into the defender.
Right, but
So the
LM,
thing is, it's just like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, ain't like Claxton was a whole slouch when we had the big three. He was balling out.
yeah, but there's a big difference.
Bro,
Wait, there's a big difference. Jared Allen hit the weights. Claxton hit the Zumba classes and Pilates classes. Like there's two differences
I
there.
mean, I don't think there's
bro,
much of a difference between them two.
Nah.
listen, hold on, listen,
Except
hold on.
Allen is probably better at
Jared,
free throws.
that count. You know that count. And don't make it seem like that's a minuscule. That's the macro, not the micro, LM. Him knocking down those free throws changes everything, bro. And on
But
top of
when
that,
me leaping in whoever it was, I think was talking about this, and niggas in here was giving us all types of shit about yo, Claxton didn't get better, none of that. But now it's like, yo, niggas want Claxton out of here now. Is that the case? Is that the
They've
case?
been wanting
no.
Claxton
What I'm
in.
saying is they not playing Claxton where he's strong. He's a weak side help defensive play. You want him to be decoy. You want him to you know what I'm saying, level up on and with that defensive side of the ball. Then you put him with the weak side help and you get an anchor so he could do all of that stuff you're talking about. If you don't do that, then you putting him out of position. You putting him in deep where players are way more than him, so they getting him deep on the post and they pushing him in. They either putting him in foul trouble or they scoring. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say the Brooklyn Nets need the personnel to back clap. When they had
Facts.
KD,
But
they
I
backed
also
each other. You feel what I'm saying? He could
I
back
Breezy,
also
you
each
think
other.
way
the
too
reason why they
passionate about
I do think the
this
reason they
topic, bro. Like we all know what Claxton
Bruh.
need, bro.
But
Like
hold on, bro, you see the state of emergency right now. What you mean?
not
Like
a
this
state of
whole shit is
emergency, bro.
disarray.
Like
It's
we
pandemonium.
in the emergency already. We in the ER
Breeze,
already.
what if the real
We're in
reason?
the
What if
ER
the
already.
reason is just the
Jeez.
fact of the matter is that you
They
talking
gotta
about
listen to the
they
podcast,
didn't
man.
do right by the draft picks? What if they just was just like these niggas ain't good enough to be invested in?
Well, if
What
that's
if
the
that
case,
was just
wait,
a, what
LM,
was that was the point?
If that's the case, then why
Look,
we drafted
I'm not
Whitehead and
saying
Jalen
I don't know
Wilson
what
then?
they did. I know what they did, LM, but I'm saying they were wrong for it. We have to hold them accountable. Now, look, we have to be fair. I'm a fan of the team, whether they right or wrong. That's fair to say. But if we go and act like these things are unnoticed, if we look and take a blind eye, then we're not doing right by the fans. Like, come on. You trying to tell me that I'm supposed to allow this? You see this shit and you allow it? You like this shit? You entertained?
It's not about it's not about
So
allowing it.
so
It's about
so
waiting for the.
so
It's about
so
playing
if
a
you
waiting game and waiting for it to get better, bro. What you gonna sign a bandwagon contract and go to Minnesota?
Yo,
so
whoa.
if we get a player on here, so let's say if we got a player on here like Jalen Williams, you would think he's worth investing in, right?
What I'm saying is, bro, the players you got, really invest in them. Really, so hold on, like, and then like see what their strengths are. Really build with them and really player develop them. You could give credit to Jordy Fernandez for player developing Zion Williams. You could give him credit for certain players that he player developed, but really put him in a situation where you give him a core situation. It's his second year head coach. Stop asking him to do magic. What you want him to fucking draft 5 players and then player develop all of them? That's not realistic. Realistic shit is
I
you give Jordy Fernandez 2 players that he could concentrate on and build with them and see what their strengths are, and maybe 3. But come on, 5 is ridiculous. 5 like
don't
you
Breeze,
just
I'm Breeze. I don't
I
disagree,
think he proved
but
that he could deal with more than 5 on a regular anyway
but
because a
this
lot of
draft
the
supposed to be special, bro. This ain't just no any draft. Sean Martin ain't never been in the top 10. He been act like he trying to win.
it is any draft because look who we got.
Yeah,
Look who we
Bro,
I'm
got, bro.
nah,
I'm
but
don't
if
do
very
you
Jago like
surprised.
that. Don't do Jago like that. I seen him training. Don't come on, man. Don't do
I'm
him like
not
that,
doing
Yeah.
man.
Diego
but
like
if
that, but
if
let's be fair, bro. You think Diego gonna be better than Cooper? No. You think Diego gonna
Bro,
be
why
better
you
than
gonna
what
put him
you?
up the number? Hold on. I think I said, and I agree with this still. I think Jago is going to get as much minutes as Cooper. I think he's going to get as much.
Obviously,
Uh, yes, but no, but that part of the obvious is a good thing for Jago. We don't have to go no further. Whatever he does on the floor is what they play at developing first, whether it be facilitating or whatever the case may be.
But
That's
I
what
don't
they're
even
going
think
to
he
do,
gotta be. I don't
bro.
even think he
They
gotta be
don't
better than Flag. I just think realistically, if he
right,
can be a
is he gonna be
serviceable
better than any of the
as
7 picks that he got picked over?
If he can be
bro.
a
we
strong
don't
Hold on,
who
when
rotation
is
piece,
knows?
hold on,
that's the
no,
way
Who
to
hold on, no,
go.
let's
knows?
hold on, Ice, hold on. Let me speak to Ice real quick, Leaf.
Yeah, yeah.
When was the last time a 6'8" or 6'9" point guard been drafted, bro?
Oh, I gotta look that up. I don't even know.
Exactly. You gotta look
Technically Ben
that up,
Simmons,
bro.
but
It's LaMelo Ball. Is
Ben
LaMelo
Simmons.
Ball 6'8"?
it's
Is he
technically
the same height?
Ben
Ben
Simmons.
Simmons. You talking? It's
Yeah,
definitely Ben
like, you know,
Simmons.
Ben
Bro,
Simmons.
If you
okay,
want to
so
be
if it's Ben
technical,
Simmons, bro, then again, this is what I'm saying. This is that I would say again, we would have that advantage because for the most part, all of the players that's 1 through 7, they're gonna play their position. If anybody was gonna have a mismatch out of 1 through 8, it's Yago, bro. That's his advantage. The fact
but
that
we
he
don't
is
know what
6'8" point
they
guard.
looking at him as somebody that's not only going to be a point. They're looking at him to be multi-positional. Whether you could put him at the point, whether you could put him at the 3, whatever the case may be. He's not even strong enough yet as to even handle the point guard position. If I'm really being honest, he's going to have his bumps and
Okay.
bruises, but he needs to get stronger.
Hmm.
And you're going up against Cade. You're going up against all these big guards that you're going to have to face. He can barely get past anybody as of right now without a pick. Like I'm not. I have no doubt that he's going to get stronger, of course. But as of right now, I think realistically, you would do better with Nolan bringing the ball up
LM, what's
and
his floor
him
right now,
being.
bro? Because I
This
think
is
his floor is Boris Diaw with a jump shot.
real quick.
Nah, I'm not saying that.
Danilo Banton, 6'9", was drafted by Toronto at
At worst, he Boris
at
Diaw with a jump shot.
46
I
in
can't. We don't
2021.
know what he's gonna be. If he could just be a poor man's version of Al
Don't say
Halliburton, I'm
Luca.
cool with
Don't
that.
say Luca.
Luca, I said poor man version of Halliburton. If he's that, I'm cool with it. But I don't need him to be putting up 30 a night. But if he can give us in the near future like 19 and 10, I'm cool with it. He don't look like a guy that's gonna score much, but he does look like a guy who's gonna get everybody
I don't know about
involved.
like 19 and 10 is for niggas that don't shoot, bro. Like I need you to shoot
I
that ball.
mean, what was Ben Simmons averaging in his prime?
Like 16 and 8, and then
He was
19 and
16,
then
8, and 8.
Yeah, 16
Right.
and 8. Yeah.
I don't see Yeager as a 25 plus scorer. Me personally,
what?
I don't.
If you don't, I mean, if you don't see him as a 25 plus scorer, then
But still,
ain't
that's
no
pretty impressive,
But
bro.
he
He
ain't
doesn't.
almost
He
ain't no
doesn't need
need
averaging
to
a
for us.
triple
score
double.
over
Ain't
25
no
to be
need for us to
effective,
have
though. That's what
ain't
I'm
no need
saying.
for us to have a top 10 pick if you don't see him as such.
What,
Bro,
huh?
almost averaging a triple double is pretty impressive.
That's what I'm saying. He don't need to be averaging damn near 28. If you can average 19 and 10 and still be serviceable to a team, I don't think he need to be all our numero uno. But at the same time, if he's a 6'9"
You
guy,
basically, you know what you basically describe. You basically describe Josh Giddey.
I mean, we don't. Josh Giddey's still young. We don't know what he gonna turn into in that Chicago
I know
team.
exactly
But
what Josh Giddey gonna turn into.
I mean, he was born in the second half of the season, so
Turn
he
on
might have
YouTube.
another. He might have
Turn
another
on
stage to
YouTube.
unlock.
This is how you tell. This is how you tell. Turn on YouTube, see how you playing, and that's what he's gonna turn out to.
Second half of the season, he was averaging 29 and whatever. So I mean,
21, 9, and 9. Yeah, I remember that.
right.
But
So if Chicago get that version of him this year, then that means they got a pretty good asset back. So they ain't complaining. There's a reason why they gave him the bread because they
Mhm.
saw that and was like, okay, we getting this next year. Oh, we rolling. Like so. I mean,
what they
if Diego can even beat Giddy, I'm okay, cool. We don't, but he ain't. That don't mean he gonna be a numero uno. He
okay.
might be a second option. He might be a third option. I don't know what Diego gonna be. But as long as he can get stronger, the shots already there. It looked like he's gonna be a serviceable shooter.
Player
He
one you
already
out of
got the
your rabbit ass
IQ.
mind if you think he's
You know
gonna
what
be
I'm
better than
saying?
Coop.
So I don't
There's
think he's
no.
gonna be better than Flag. But I mean,
I don't think
I
he's
mean,
better.
most
I
of the
don't think he's better
picks.
than Coop or
When have
Dylan.
we ever seen a eighth pick be better than the number one in recent years?
Never.
So I mean, it's not the case.
The
But
eighth,
can a
the eighth.
number
I told y'all about the eighth pick. The eighth pick is historically bad. It's not a game
who
changer.
was the first pick in Halliburton's draft?
A Halliburton draft.
Right, because
Um,
Halliburton was 11. So who was that? The pick? What was he
it might have
drafted?
been DeAndre
20.
Ayton. I don't know.
I forgot who. I forgot what draft he was in. But
I think he was in
I don't know if
2020.
Halliburton
That might have been Ant Man. That might have been Ant Man.
is Halliburton better than Ant?
No,
Exactly. But nigga went to the finals
he
once.
did.
We don't know. We don't know when he gonna be back. But he went further than Ant ever has. So I mean, realistically, we don't know. But if Yegor can be, he don't gotta be a number one type skill set player, but if he can
I
just be
think.
serviceable, then
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
cool with it.
that's cool. But I mean, but to what you just said about Ant and Halliburton, I strongly believe in Ant had like if the Minnesota Timberwolves played the New York Knicks in the conference finals, they would have been in the finals too.
Mm,
Respectfully.
yeah,
But I mean,
yeah, because I
exactly.
mean, but realistic, I ain't gonna lie. When that series went six, I ain't gonna hold you. That's if they meet again. I'm not saying this year, but next year, I think they still get whooped. I'm not even gonna hold you,
The
but
Knicks camaraderie is not there, bro. But the thing because but like when you have one too many ball stoppers, bro, pause. I'm like nobody else can really get in a rhythm. Then you act like, and then you have lapses on defense. If your two best players is defensively dysfunctional, bro, like you're not going nowhere.
yeah. But Breeze, what you were saying to your point. I don't think with Allen and Cam Thomas, bro. I just don't think the front office. If we had a pick like Ant or wherever the case may be, it wouldn't be no point of we not pouring to our draft picks because our draft pick turned out to be what he is. The nigga turned out to be an all-star, superstar, whatever the case may be. I just don't think it's all on Sean Marks in whatever in terms of because he made pretty good picks. They not all-stars or whatever, but they were pretty good for where he got them at.
Well,
So
pretty good ain't
realistically,
good enough, man. I need better. I'm sorry,
that's fair. But I
respectfully.
mean, that's fair to ask. But
A very fair to
I
ask
just don't
because
think they was good enough
now
to
you
for
got the
them, the front
picks.
office, to be invested in. Like, especially with Cam Thomas, obviously an amazing scoring talent, but they probably looking at this nigga like, yo, what? Okay, well, what else? Why are you getting on the court and you still got this mentality of yo, I'm just throwing shit up? Like, niggas around you got to eat too. Now, I'm thinking they wrong in that because realistically, the nigga is a scorer. Like, I don't know if they were trying to throw him into a point guard or whatever the case may be, but that was never him. So I'm not saying that's on him, but I just think
I
realistically,
mean, LM, when you really look at the when you really look at the archetypes of players that we put on this team, when you really look at it from top to bottom, bro, is it really is it really that bad that we have too many dribble pass shoot players at different positions, bro? Because we even got a point center in Danny Wolf, and we don't even know who he gonna turn out to be. We got somebody we could throw at the three in Jaeger, and then somebody we could legitimately throw at the one. So you offensively, I don't like if everything pans out in terms of development. I don't think you should be lacking anything offensively. You know what I'm saying? So like I just think that
yeah,
once you fill out the rest of the team and you complement all the rest of the positions and complement the other archetypes that you need to complement those dribble pass shoot players, and you get your athletes and you get your rim runners and you get your tough players and you get your inside players and you get your dunk box guys and your rim and your dunkers and your high flyers and all of that. To me, the team should be all set. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
but
to me, bro. Like, cause I look at it like this, bro. Like, obviously, Halliburton is a playmaker first. But if you look at when he was on the court, how many other dudes was in double figures? It was like
Like
damn near
five people,
7 to 8
five,
dudes
six,
that was in double
seven,
figures.
8 people.
Yeah, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying.
and
So
listen, I
when you
was just
got
trying
that
to
type of
just
mom and pop system like that everybody eat, then you good. Then you could do numbers. Indiana was
right.
a game away from winning it all.
I never
I still
again.
think if that nigga ain't get injured,
I
he was
agree.
going for 40.
I agree with that same point, but again, then we can't say, "Oh, Cam Thomas is a weak link because he don't got defense." Yeah, the offense should be set, but all of these players, we got to hold them accountable on defense as well. It can't be, oh, Cam Thomas is a weak link on defense, but nobody else is playing defense. We don't got no stellar defense like that. When you look at the defensive
But being
rating that the
on,
Brooklyn,
he's the worst.
no, no,
He's the worst
This
defender.
ain't
Being
about.
real,
I'm
he's the
not
worst
trying to
defender
make
on the
this about
team.
Cam Thomas right now,
no, no, no.
bro.
I'm
Like
not making it about Cam Thomas. I'm making it about the defensive. I heard you say that the offense would be set, and I know that it's true. But what I'm saying is the defensive side of the ball got to matter too. The Brooklyn Nets ain't outscoring nobody, man. We gotta hang our hat on the defensive side of the ball. In my opinion, if the Brooklyn Nets are going to be a good team in the Eastern Conference, we gotta start thinking about the defensive side of the ball. We're not going to outscore teams and win. That should not be the motto. That should not be our style. We should not think about outscoring teams. We should be thinking about slowing teams down and having an elite scorer where he could score in the fourth quarter, not just him, but
let me
somebody like Danny Wilkes too, who could score inside the point. Inside the 3 point line, and also, you know what I'm saying, facilitate the ball from inside the 3 point line. So, but
let me
that's
ask you
offense.
something.
Is
Let
he
me
a
ask you
defender
something.
though? Is
Let
he
me
a
ask you.
defender?
Let me ask you something. Who is the Indiana Pacers' best defender? Just past year that you seen. And but mind you, we've been watching them from start to finish. So who is their best defender? Would you say
I think
Nembhard was their best defender?
I would say it was him or the other one. I forget his name. After
Neesmith?
he Neesmith,
Nesmith.
Neesmith. Yeah, part
Okay,
of the
so
that
it's safe
defense.
to say like the tough defense assignments didn't revolve around Miles Turner, didn't revolve around Halliburton, didn't revolve around
Siakam.
Siakam. It didn't
That's
revolve around them, right?
it depends. That's contingent on the team. I mean, we all know
Yeah,
that though.
yeah. I mean, but based on what we saw, like, so if the formula is 1 through 9, having competent offensive players that could dribble, pass, shoot, and do multiple things on the court, kind of like the archetypes of players that we just drafted. We just don't know if they the guys or not. If they gonna develop into, if they gonna fully develop into everything that they supposed to be offensively. If the formula is that, to me, 1/3 of your team is already complete. All you got to do is just develop the shit. 1/3 of the team is already complete. Once you go get the athletes, like a Neesmith, like a Nimhart, to go out there and go, play full court press on the
Oh,
SGA, because best believe Nimhart had that assignment the whole series.
hold on. Ice, you closing out on the 2 hour mark, so you can get the clip.
We can run it. Y'all chatting it up. We can run it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
All right,
So
so hold on. Let me ask you: is Drake Powell our Nimhard in your opinion?
keep.
Shit.
He might be
if he
He
if
might
he
be our
if
Herb
he
Jones.
he might be our Herb Jones. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like he could
Fucking
possibly be
Nemhard. He
up
might be our
there.
Herb Jones.
Nimhard. Shit. Our Nimhard, we just released our Nimhard. It was probably
Do you,
Keon Johnson.
he's
But
6'6", 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan and can jump out the gym. Nigga, he
yeah,
might,
hold
Exactly.
if
on.
you develop him, he can be better than Nemhard.
But the Pacers,
I don't know about
just to
that.
let y'all know, the Pacers wanted to pair Kobe Buffkin with Nimhard. They wanted Kobe and Nimhard to play together in the backcourt.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that's the thing. But I wasn't getting on Cam, but realistically, Cam is the weakest defender on the team. So what I was saying is, yes, defense is important for all the players. We're not saying everybody on the team is getting a pass on the defensive end, but from what I feel like the Nets is trying to do, they're trying to make sure they have competent defenders in the lineup. Like at least we not weak on any other on defensive end, and
Right.
if it does turn into an individual thing, they can hold their own. They don't need no. They don't really
LM.
need help to. You know what I'm saying? They can
LM.
hold
The
their
reason.
own on a certain
LM. The reason.
place.
The
But go
reason
ahead.
why I reference Indiana. I reference Indiana because Indiana, the way their team was built, at least from 1 through 9, and how they played, they tried to build it in a space of, all right, offensively, we ain't gonna have no lapses. So notice, even when they got scored on, they scored quickly because they was able to move the ball up the court because they played together and they had competent passes. You know what I'm saying? When you have
Right.
competent creators, bro, like, and I think that's the key thing that's missing here. We was watching Miles Turner hit. We was watching Miles Turner get the ball at the free throw line, dribble and take a sidestep and hit the mid ranges and shit. We was watching Nimhard go 1-on-1. We was watching TJ McConnell go 1-on-1. We was watching Siakam go 1-on-1. We was watching
Nigga, didn't
Hall.
Nesmith drop a 30 piece or some shit on
We
one
we we
nigga?
watched Neesmith shoot 8 for 9 against the Knicks. So
Right.
my contingency about having multiple dribble pass shoot players, the defensive side of the ball really is self-explanatory. We don't need nobody out there to be Ron Artest. We don't need nobody out there to be Jaden McDaniels. The thing is, what you really need is like, if you can't block up permanently on defense, the other counter reaction is going to be your scoring. How can you counteract what the other team is doing offensively? You score.
And also pushing the ball out. Like
Yeah, but
we
the
was complaining about Ben Simmons being on there, and Ben Simmons being the only person who could push the
pushing the
ball
ball
on
and
the
pushing the
floor.
pace
Now
and
we
getting the
got
ball
three
up.
people who could probably do with
Yeah,
the
now
addition
we
of
got
Wolf
three
that can
people
do that.
that's willing to move the ball, that's willing to pass the ball, that's not ball stoppers, that's not that's not going to stop the ball. Like they're going to promote. All right, yo, let's get this shit up the court and let's score fast. Let's get it to our shooters. Listen, everything else is going to be self-explanatory. That's what it is. Now, whoever fits into that circle and how they do it, and how long they stay together and how they do it the years going forward, who knows? But I at least think, in terms of the player archetype, it may not be these players that we drafted, but I guarantee you, if we go back in the draft again and we get multiple picks, we gonna get the same type of players, bro, that could do the same type of shit that Danny Wolf and Yegor Demin and a lot of these players can do. That's what they going for. And I don't blame them, bro. I mean, it's just the names that is just not jumping off the sheet, bro. Like, that's all it is.
And
But
Breeze, you
the
was
but the
talking
player
about
archetype, it's nothing wrong with the player archetypes, bro. Like, it's just the
Breeze, you
names
was
that's not
talking
jumping off.
about Breeze, you was talking about us getting a scorer to help help Cam Thomas. And I agree. Like I feel like at some point, it would have been nice if we did have an ace or whatever the case may be to help with the scoring. But also, I do think even though it didn't work out that way, we do have a lot of ball handlers now. Even if they're not scoring like him, they can still take the pressure of off him in terms of being the only ball handler on the floor. Like you got guys who can set up the offense. You got guys who can push the pace. You got guys who can do the little things. So it's not they may not have that the scoring prowess that Cam got, but I mean, you do got extra ball handlers that can, do a little something. You know what I'm saying? So you got Nolan, you got Yegor, you got Drake, who I think his scoring prowess is being slept on. Like Drake can score. Like if you watch his high school mixtape, if you watch what he did in college, you can see he has that scoring arsenal in his game. So it's just a matter if he gonna get minutes or not.
I'm
Even
waiting
with
for
Nolan,
waiting for Danny
uh,
Wolf to turn into Jokic, bro. Like because he already got the skill set. It's just he just need the
that
damn
too, you know what
he
I'm
just need the
saying?
reps and the time.
Even Nolan, Nolan was dropping 40 overseas on certain teams, you know what I'm saying? So it's just we got guys with
Did
untapped
you drop
scoring
40 on
potential,
Ben
I think.
Saraf?
Yeah, I think one of the games, yeah. Like
Hell, we
even
pick up
Nolan scoring
Before the
for
game before he played Yegor, he dropped 40 on that team.
exact right.
why would we pick up a dude that dropped 40 and a dude that got dropped 40 on, bro?
Yeah,
Yo.
but what I'm saying is the scoring potential is there. Is what I'm saying. These niggas ain't all just Ben Simmons, and they not looking to score. Like they gonna try to get a bucket whenever they can. So even though it's not necessarily bona fide pure scorers, they are guys that you could count on a little bit as to put the ball in the hole. But I mean, I think it's good to Lee's point that we have multiple ball handlers who can, push the pace and help out on the floor because it's going to be easier to spread the ball around. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be a weak link
Yeah,
uh
definitely,
in the
bro.
lineups, like especially on the bench. If you got Saraf coming off the bench, if that's how they want to put it, that's another ball handler that can push the pace, get to the mid range. You know what I'm saying? Like he can work out like that in our favor. So
I
it's
mean, but
good
I
that we
think I
got
think
multiple ball
Saraf.
handlers.
I really think Saraf comp during the training camp is probably gonna be Nolan Trayor, and
Yeah,
because not like ideally, bro. Like I think they're probably gonna be competing for the same spot, playable spot on the court. Like I look at playable spots on the court. I don't necessarily look at positions anymore because the league is going in a totally different place in terms of how they match up. In terms of positions, position by position, bro. I look at like, yo, do you have your athletes to go along with your dribble, pass, and shoot players, or do you have your dribble, pass, and shoot players to go along with your athletes? Right now, I think stage one of what we need to have to rebuild this team is almost done.
Real quick, the game Nolan dropped. He dropped 45 on Barcelona for 45, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal. That was 2024. You know what I'm saying when he dropped them points. But you saying Lee? What you were saying about they fighting him? And I seen the article
I
that
think
says
I
that.
think him and Ben Saraf is probably going to be competing for the same type of spot. The
Oh yeah,
reason
yeah, yeah,
being, the
yeah.
reason being is because I think, I don't think both of them is going to be played at the same time based on the height that we drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't draft Yegor at number 8 and then say, all right, yo, let's play Nolan Trayor and Ben Saraf at the same time at certain points of the game. You know what I'm saying? Everything is really going to come down to training camp realistically, but I think Nolan Trayor already has an elite NBA ability, and that's his speed with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like if once you have something at the NBA that they can't teach you, bro, like that's already elite, then you're going to make your way to NBA court. You know what I'm saying? Like what it doesn't matter what it is. If you have something that they can't teach and you already got it down already, I don't care whether it's Dayron rebounding, whether it's Yegor passing. It doesn't matter what it is, bro. Like they're gonna put you on the court. The
I
only
think the versatile lineup that they might um what is it? They could do. I think with if Diego, this is assuming Diego puts on weight, which I feel like he is going to do. I feel like they might, because I think Nolan
they might
and all
run a
in all,
before or
they
something
might
like
put him
that.
at the yeah, they might put him because I think MPJ is going to be here next year, and then we're probably going to try to trade him by next season. But until then, or by the grace of God, if we get Cam Boozer, but until then, it might be Nolan at the one, might be Drake Powell at the two, it might be Yegor at the three, might be MPJ at the four, and it might be Claxton at the five. And I think we're going to see that lineup towards the end of the season. It just if for me, if I got Diego and Nolan, I feel like to me that makes more sense. Just in terms of if I'm gonna fit these two together, I don't want it to be overpowered at the point guard position. Like Diego can just be that wing forward who can be that connecting playmaker at the wing, who, you know what I'm saying, one of them point forwards. But, you know, him and
I
Nolan
was
can
thinking the
share the
I
point
was
guard
thinking the
spot.
same exact thing because now that he working on his shooting ability, I think that you're gonna take him out like that's kind of what they wanted to do with Josh Giddey, but Josh Giddey is not to serve is not serviceable enough with his shot for him to be that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I think Josh Giddey got a lot more hustle because the thing is, Josh Giddey got the same thing. Like Josh Giddey got the same opportunities to go for hustle plays that Rondo had. Because when you're not guarding him, then you lose track of what else he can do on the court. Like rebound, keep get hustle plays, get a offensive rebound, sneaking in and go get a pass because he can pass. Um, I think the difference between him and Diego is he's being put in a spot where he's going to be the primary ball handler. Diego is not. That's the difference, and I think that's where we agree with the whole connection part of him being a connector at another spot on the court as opposed to being a primary ball handler and the primary player to break defenses down. I don't really see that
Yeah.
with Diego.
They were trying to
However,
experiment on it on summer league.
I do see that with Danny Wolf.
If they're trying to experiment on Danny Wolf, if you off Claxton and you want to experiment with Wolf being our center, I mean, I'm okay with that. And, you
But
know,
no, I think Danny Wolf is gonna like early on if he doesn't evolve into like the complete go to starting four or five, they're gonna have him as the connector before they have Yegor as one. They're gonna try to put the ball in Yegor's hands a lot more on the 3 point line and give him some space to work. Try to give him more shooting spacing and things of that nature. But I personally believe that I think right now the only thing that the Nets really need in order to have a complete looking roster is they have to have somebody that can complement the other things that these other players that got drafted don't do. Defense, athleticism, rebounding, that toughness. Just have that type of mold of player. I think
yeah, Diego needs
everything
to
with
watch Franz.
the archetypes is right. We just don't know if these are the right names that we need.
Diego needs to watch a lot of Franz Wagner. Like he needs to watch film on him a lot. And then what I like about Franz is, let's not forget, Franz can pass too. Like if he wants to, he can play point. But it's
I don't
just
know that nah. I think that's a bad. I don't think he's the athlete that Franz is.
he
Franz,
doesn't. I get that, but
I
at the
think
same time,
like
Franz is not much of a. He's an athlete, but he ain't
no.
exactly.
You better watch Franz some more, bro. Like when you got to remember when Paolo went down, Franz was 26, 6 and 6, and they was still
Right,
holding
but
that team afloat.
Franz got years in the NBA. Like I don't know what Yego's gonna look like by year three. Like he might be a totally different player as to where okay, you
Yeah,
could put him at the three and
you
he
got to
got
remember
size
you got to
and he can
remember
shoot.
Franz play a lot like his brother, like in terms of getting downhill and get to the basket. The only difference is he got a shot. His brother don't. Mo don't have a shot, but Mo is going to get to that basket.
But if you remember, but I think this is before Paulo got drafted. When Franz was there before the Paulo draft, the
Right.
biggest thing on him was his shot. Like he wasn't a good shooter, but
Yeah.
he was a good finisher.
Yes.
He can get to the paint,
Right.
which he's the opposite of Yegor as a rookie. Like Yegor can I think has a decent serviceable shot, but he doesn't have the finishing and the strength that Franz had coming into the league. So he has to do the opposite, where he has to get better at finishing and putting
Right.
strength on him if they want him to be serviceable and be like, all right, you don't got to play the point, you can play the connecting wing. Only
Right.
thing is on the defensive end, he's gonna have to guard the Franzes. He's gonna have
I
to
this
guard
this
the
this
guys, those guys. So
This
I don't know
this
how that's
this
gonna
this
look.
what I this will like we gonna do at the moment. At the moment right now, let's focus on that connecting thing that you was talking about because Jaco's best quality is his passing right now.
But
That
also his size, like
yeah yeah
he's
in his
6'9",
yeah
one
in
ninety.
in
Like
his
he
height
can
advantage
be
in
his height
his height
advantage is gonna help
advantage.
him a lot
His
if
height
he can get
advantage
it
is
to.
gonna help him. It depends on how fast we move. But at the same time, if we in half court sets, they got time to throw. NBA teams nowadays they got time to throw the dude with the same height on you, a 6'8" dude on you that has the wingspan that could slow you down a bit. I think what needs to be done. We need the run. We need the runners, and we need the speed to complement these passers that we have. Because right now we don't have nobody, we don't got no rim runners, we ain't got no leak out artists to run up the court and go out and then go get these buckets. We don't.
Yeah. You're right, Jovan. He needs to watch Denny too. I agree. He needs to watch Denny as well. Denny's also a good
Who
example.
don't have no
But
league out guys, Leaf? What you mean? What you
No,
mean? We got league
right.
out guys on this team that are running the floor now.
My thing is do we have I'm talking about not just the leak out guys, but I'm talking about the guys that's gonna thrive in fast break situations night in and night out. Right now, we got young guys that can run, but do we got young guys that's gonna continue to put the pressure on defenses, bro? Like with their speed and with their agility and with and do all the other things in the passing lanes and on the defense and all the other little things that Yegor and Danny Wolf's and Nolan Treyarch is not known for. That's what I mean. Like right now, we got Drake Powell, but I don't know anybody else on our roster in terms of the players that we cutting. Based on the players that we cutting, I don't know anybody else on our roster that's his archetype. I don't.
Yeah, nah. They young, but you right. They gonna run. You know what I'm saying? But I think like Saraf and Trayor, they was the league out guys on their teams. You know what I'm saying? Um,
And that ain't good
Yegor,
enough in the NBA, bro. Like we
yeah,
need different.
Yegor was not really the league out guy. He was like the second guy, but he would push the pace from being like the second guy down court and make the pass or make the play or create from there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But we got a little something like you said. It's gonna take some time for them to learn how to do that though. But we got the guys on the roster for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. We got them guys in the on the team.
Yeah, listen, and I'm all in. Listen, like I said, bro, I'm all in for the development of these players if that's what we're gonna stick to. But knowing this front office, it seems like we trying like, and based on what Easy was saying earlier, it seemed like we trying to wing a plan to try to go backdoor and go get somebody to trade for because the history of the Nets is that we thrived more. We're getting most of our best talent through the trade market. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? I hate to bring it up that way, but I mean it is what it is. But I'm hoping that we stay the course, whatever that is. But if we stay the course, I think we got to get results done now. If you go out and trade for a young player that could complement this roster right now, then you cooking with fish grease. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, right now we just hip hopping it out. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Like let's I mean Man, I'm 2,000 miles away from the shit, man. So I'm gonna just see how it's gonna work. Like I said, man, like I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know if anybody else know how it's gonna work, but it's an idea. You know, the archetype, like I said, the archetypes is there, but it's just the names that we don't know if it's gonna work or not.
Facts. We don't know who's gonna work this season, next season. Shit, yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough watch, but for some reason, people still think this team is going to play better than what we think this team is going to be. And you know what I'm saying? I see NBA players think this team. I know some NBA players think this team is going to tank, but for some reason, some other NBA players think that the team is going to win more than what we think the team is going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For whatever reason that is, that's what some NBA players think. You know what I mean?
that's the same thing I was saying last year.
So that's what you were saying last year, Jay.
Yeah, and I think it could be the same this year too.
Yeah,
Cause
man, it
we
could be. That's what they were saying. I found that interesting. That some people were saying like, "Yo, the
look,
Brooklyn Nets could probably win more
oh damn,
games than you know what
thanks,
I'm
man.
saying." Like, but they think the strategy is to tank. Some people think the strategy is that the organization wants to tank. But like I said, people think we're gonna win games though. You know what I'm saying? So it got me puzzled. I know we're gonna win more
I
than
think we're gonna win games strictly off of coaching and effort, bro. Like and the fact that in terms of young players, we all know just based off of 1 year and based off of his assistant coaching tenure with other teams, like Jordy could get some of these young players to run through a wall for him.
yeah, facts.
Like let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, 105, 100 million, bro. Like the problem is when they run through a wall, some of them will hit that wall and they won't get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen it happen to Noah Clowney, bro. Like, he hit that wall. He was really like, and we all saw it, bro. Like, like the frustration of the season and the physicality was getting to him. You know, and I think that starts from training camp, bro. Like to me, if you can't survive Jordy training camp, you ain't gonna be on the team much longer. That's all it is to it, bro. So
Yeah, I know. I think the number been set at 22 again. Well, last time it was lower. You know what I'm saying? But it's set at 22 right now. So I think we're gonna win more than 22 games.
22. I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, all I'm gonna say is this, bro. If the Boston Celtics do not finish in the Eastern Conference from 1 to 6, they will get a higher pick than us.
Mm, I heard that on TikTok too. You know what I'm saying? That's what people think. That's what fans think, anyways. That if they
Bro,
drop down anyway, they're
that's
gonna
what
get a
I
high pick.
know, bro. Like I'm look, you know what I'm looking at, bro. I'm not even looking at the draft until the draft lottery is set, bro. I made that mistake last year. I'm not doing it again. Give me my like set me up with the pick that I'm supposed to have, bro. Then I go focus on the draft. Until then, I like I regret to inform a lot of Net fans, but like we don't got no business looking at AJ DeBonsa or goddamn Cam Boozer right now. We don't because the league already told us last year they wasn't doing no favors. Unless they change their mind, then I change my mind. Until then, let's go out, go look for that young trade piece to be that possible number two or number or whatever he can be, and then that's that.
Nah,
That's
and in this draft, I mean, yeah, even if you don't look at that, even to number 10 in this draft,
I'm not looking. No, no, no. You're not getting me with
even
that shit.
no, no,
You're
no,
not getting me
even
with
to
that shit
number
again.
10
No,
in this draft, you
no.
can still get a high quality
I'm not
player.
hearing that. I'm not hearing
It's
that.
you don't gotta hear. I'm gonna tell you anyways. You ain't gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? High
Ah.
quality player, even if you land a 10 in this draft, still. You know what I mean?
I heard that fantasy last year, bro. We ended up
Listen,
with the
that's
number.
not a fantasy.
Yep, it is a fantasy. You know why? Because we only got one pick this year, bro. We basically like the Eminem chorus, bro. You only get one shot.
Yeah, no, we got 1 in the first and 3 in the second round, and
That ain't. Come
they
on,
probably gonna
3 in
get
the
rid of
second
those.
round. Yeah, they getting rid of them second round picks, man. Come on, man. Stop that.
They won't move
They ain't
those.
getting. They ain't keeping those, man. Stop that.
Yeah. So
Like,
they got 1 pick. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying?
I really ain't looking. I mean, whether it's AJ DeBonsa or Cam Boozer, bro. Like, I feel like the hype. I feel like either one of them is gonna be like held to incredibly high expectations, just based off the fact that how Jordy gonna have the team playing. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably going to be the worst of the worst, bro. Because when you held to that high expectations at the ages that they are, bro, now you subject for everything going left. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just don't wish that for them right away, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, because they just young men, bro, like just trying to get in the league, bro. Like they ain't none of them in drinking age, bro. But they all gonna be held to that same standard. They gonna be in a Tribeca, bro. Like they gonna realize what Jago is realizing right now, bro. The food costs twice as much, bro. All of that. You know, you probably gonna be in a 1 bedroom, man, for your first rookie contract. You're gonna be sleeping on a couple of couches, cause that 6 mil ain't even enough, bro. Not even to live in New York, especially with the taxes that they about to take out, bro. Like, so, I mean, it's a whole bunch of things they're gonna have to get used to.
Right. Right. But anybody got anything else before we close out? Cause you know what I'm saying? Let me know.
I
Nah, everybody good. All right.
think everybody,
Everybody in
I
the
think
chat,
everybody drunk for the night, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, appreciate y'all in the chat pulling up. Appreciate everybody on the panel. You know what I mean? If y'all want to give a shout out before I close out, you know what I'm saying? We can do that.
It's all good, bro.
All right.
All I know, the Nets fans is the best fans because you gotta be if you sticking through this bullshit.
That's a fact. Y'all know my motto. Y'all don't have to like, y'all don't have to subscribe because I don't know anything. You heard? And we out.